A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. For a week, you've been on rolling stakeout looking for a gang of thieves. There's no sign of them. On the way back to the office, you get a 211 call. Your job? Investigate.
The documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Thursday, October 9th. It was cool in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. My name's Friday. We were on our way back to the office when a 211 robbery call came in, and it was 12:18 a.m. when we got to the corner of Oxford and Barton Avenue. The Moyles Bar and Grill.
The officer back there.
Something I can do for you?
Friday and Smith sent the robbery.
Sorensen, Unit 6L86.
You answer the call here?
Yeah, my partner and me. He's on the other side of the place.
What do you got?
A couple of guys and a woman shot. My partner's with him now.
Uh-huh.
One of them's one of the hold-up men.
Did you get a description?
Yeah, just put it out.
All right.
The guy that owns the place is back there if you want to talk to him.
Yeah, we do. Did he witness the shooting?
Yeah. Mr. Moyle?
Yeah?
These men would like to talk to you. This is Sergeant Friday, Officer Smith.
How do you do, sir? How are you?
How do you do?
Anything more you need me for, Sergeant?
No, that's all, thanks.
We'll check the vicinity, see if we can come up with anything for you.
Good. You guys will handle the crime report, will you?
Yeah.
Right. Frank, you want to check with the ambulance crew while I talk to Moyles here?
Yeah, sure.
You want to tell me what happened?
I just told the other officer about it. Isn't that enough?
Well, we'd like to get the story from you.
Do you mind if we go over and sit down? The whole thing's been a strain.
Surely. This all right here?
Mm-hmm.
All right, sir. You want to start?
First off, I'd like to ask you a question.
What's that?
Do I look like a weakling to you?
Well, it's kind of hard to say, sir.
Not at all. Simple arithmetic. I'm 5'10", 185, never run from a fight in my life.
Uh-huh.
Work in a bar, you handle some pretty tough ones. Loudmouths, guys that are trying to make time with some girl. You meet them all.
Mm-hmm.
Never had trouble with any of the rough times. Stood up and was counted.
Yes, sir. You could just tell us about the shooting.
Just what I'm getting to. First time in my life I wanted to dig a hole in the floor. Got to me.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I'm not a coward, but when them bullets started going around, I wanted out. O-U-T.
Yes, sir, I understand. Now, suppose you tell me what happened here.
Around 11:30, there were only a couple of people in the place. Young couple over here having coffee. And Elaine and George.
Who are they?
Two of the people who were shot. George Traber and Elaine Cronin. They're regulars.
I see.
They're sitting here having a beer. We're talking.
Uh-huh.
Almost every night, Elaine comes in after work. She's a waitress. Nice girl, real sensible.
What about Traber?
He's a security guard at some kind of plant out in the valley. Aircraft, I think. Not sure about it.
All right, you want to go ahead?
We're all three talking when these two guys come in. First, I thought it was somebody for a belt.
Mm-hmm.
I know most of the people in the neighborhood. Never saw these two before.
Yes, sir.
Come in and order a drink. I gave it to them. And they paid.
Yeah.
Dirty trick.
Well, how do you mean that?
Gave me a 5. Drinks came to about 20. Big guy picked up his change, left 80 on the bar. Figured it was a tip. Picked it up. Going to drop it in the glass.
Yeah.
No sooner turn around, the little guy pulls a gun. Points it right at me.
Yeah.
Tells me it's a stick-up. Guy with him runs over to the door to cover it.
Mm-hmm.
Little man moves down the bar and tells George and Elaine to stay where they are. They won't get hurt. Then he turns around to me and says for me to empty the register. I did what he said.
Yes, sir. Now, the other man was by the door all this time, was he?
Yeah. Just standing there. I guess he wanted to check the other side of the place. 2 kids had left. Wasn't anybody there.
Mm-hmm.
All the time I was standing there hoping that nobody had started anything.
Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah. What do you got?
Ambulance just left. Took all 3 of them in. Sorensen's with the suspect.
How they doing?
The other guy they found up front's not doing too good, hit in the stomach. Other fella shot up pretty bad, but none of the wounds looked serious. Girl was hit in the right leg. Not too bad.
Anything else?
Well, near as I can figure, the guy who was shot in the stomach is one of the hold-up men.
Checks out with what I got from the owner. You say anything?
The attendant said they'd call us from the hospital as soon as we could talk to him.
All right. You better get in touch with the officer down there and make sure there's somebody with him all the time.
Yeah, I got the 2 guns involved. 32 automatic, 38 police special.
All right.
Found the 32 in the suspect's hand.
Okay. You want to call the office, have somebody stay with the suspect? I better get back to the owner.
Right.
That other cop tell you anything?
No, sir, not much. Now, if you want to go ahead with your story.
I thought maybe you had some kind of clue or something to tell you who the other 2 were.
There were 3 of them?
Yeah. 2 in here. The other one was out in the car and didn't come in at all.
Did you see the person driving the car?
Not good. I told the other cops about it. Could even tell if it was a man or not.
What do you mean?
Might have been a girl with one of those new short haircuts. I just got a glance when they drove off.
I see. You want to go on about what happened in the bar?
Well, after this one guy told me it was a holdup, I gave him the money. I didn't want any trouble. I put the currency on the bar, and the little fella stuffed it in his pockets. I thought they'd leave after that. Might have if I hadn't started to laugh.
How's that?
I started to laugh. I guess it was the tension and all, but when I opened the register, I looked right at the frame hanging over it. $1 I took in.
Yeah.
This was my first holdup. I got to thinking about what I could hang up to show for it. Thought the only thing would be a frame full of nothing. It struck me real funny. Little fella got real sore, wanted to know what the big joke was.
Oh.
I couldn't tell him. More he asked, funnier the whole thing got. That's when he started to look around to see if there was some kind of private joke. George and Elaine must have thought I was nuts.
Yeah.
Elaine tried to wave to me and tell me to be quiet. That's when the guy saw the watch she was wearing.
Well, what happened?
Told her to take it off. Got real nasty about it. Guess he was sore about me laughing. She did like he said. As soon as I saw that, I got mad. Real mad.
Yeah.
I thought about what I could do. I don't keep a gun in the place. All I could lay my hands on was a wet bar rag.
What was that?
A wet bar rag.
Oh, I see.
So I did what the guy told me. Put my hands on the bar right out in plain sight. The little fella started to back out of the bar, and that's when George went into action.
How do you mean that?
He's a security guard. You know, I told you that.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Well, he carries this gun. He pulled it out and reached around the lane, blasted at the hold-up man. Hit him right in the stomach. Guy kind of turned like he was going to run, then fell right on his face. Then the big guy, the one at the door, he aimed his gun and shot at George.
Was the girl still in front of him?
Not exactly. You see, when George shot at the one guy, he knocked Elaine down. Wasn't fast enough, though. First shot from the big one caught Elaine in the leg. Second one got George.
Well, what were you doing all this time?
I was still there with my hands on the bar. The whole thing happened so fast, there wasn't anything I could do. Just stood there. Right after that, the big guy ran out of the place. I jumped over the bar and went after him. Guess I forgot there wasn't any way I could stop him. Didn't think of that. Good thing I didn't catch him.
Yeah. You followed the man out on the street, did you?
Yeah. Saw him jump into the car and take off. That's when I saw the other person. You know, the one who was driving.
Yes, sir. Did you get a good look at the car?
Saw it drive off.
I understand, but did you see the license plate?
Yeah. But not so I could tell you the number.
Was it a California plate?
Yeah, I could see that.
All right, now about the car itself. Can you tell me what kind it was?
Nash sedan. I think it might have been a 1953. Can't be sure about that, though. Might have been a new one.
What color, do you remember?
Near as I can remember, it was kind of light tan.
All right, sir. Can you give me a description of the big man, the one who stood at the door?
Well, I gave it to that other cop.
Well, yes, sir, but I'd like to go over it again with you, if it's all right.
Sure. As long as it'll help you get the fellas.
All right, how old was he?
Well, I'd say 20-something. Anywhere between 24 and 27.
How about his height?
Tall and over 6 feet. Didn't come real close except when he was sitting. I couldn't pin it down for you, but I'd say over 6 feet for sure.
All right, sir. About his weight?
180.
Dark or light?
Light. Had light hair and blue eyes. Hair was wavy. You could almost say the guy was too pretty, like some kind of advertisement, you know, for hair oil or something.
What was he wearing?
Had on dark pants and coat. Wore a dark shirt and a white tie. Remember that, because you don't see that combination much nowadays. Back in the 30s, it was all the go.
You sure about the shirt and tie?
Positive. Real contrast. Dark shirt and white tie.
All right. Was he clean shaven?
Yeah.
Talked to the business office, Joe. They're sending a team over to the hospital.
That's good.
Stopped and talked to the men in 6L86. They checked the neighborhood. Didn't come up with anything.
What about Elaine? Is she going to be all right?
Yes, sir. She's not hurt seriously.
Sure glad of that. Felt bad about not doing anything to help her, but I'm the kind of guy, when I cut my finger, I can't even put a bandage on it myself. Always been like that.
Yeah. What kind of gun did the man at the door have, do you remember?
Looked like a .45 automatic.
I see.
Descriptions check out.
Yeah. Type of guns are the same, too.
You know these men?
Well, we've got an idea who they are, yes, sir. We've been after them for some time now.
Sure wish I could have given you more. It was all over in a few minutes.
Well, you've helped us quite a bit already, Mr. Morrow.
At the time, it seemed longer than a Monday when there's been too much Sunday.
Yeah.
These guys done this kind of thing before?
Well, we think so. They've been hitting theaters. This is the first time they've hit a cafe.
Hope it's going to be the last. The way they put the B on George and Elaine, I'd like to see you get them.
Well, we're going to try.
If you do, could you do me a favor?
What's that?
Well, I kind of goofed it up when they were here before. I'd like another chance at the big guy when he hadn't got his gun.
Well, I'm afraid we can't do that, Moyle. It's a police business.
Why not? He's bigger than me.
Yes, sir?
Be a fair fight, wouldn't it?
For the past 6 weeks, on Tuesday and Thursday nights, 3 people had been hitting theaters in the central Hollywood area. Descriptions obtained from the victims were the same in each case. Rolling stakeouts had been set up without result. Runs by the staff's office had been checked out, and we were still no nearer to our suspects. In each case, the method of operation was the same. 2 men would enter a theater box office and rob the cashier of all currency, and then leave in a car driven by a third person. We'd been unable to establish whether the person in the car was male or female. None of the victims had been able to give us a good description. However, in all of the holdups, the car the suspects used was the same. The robbery of the cafe and the shooting of the 2 witnesses gave us our first concrete lead to the identity of the suspects. The description of the smaller man matched the one we'd gotten in the theater jobs. From what the bar owner told us, it was more than possible that he was one of the bandits that we'd been looking for. We recovered the ejected shell casings and the spent bullets. They were booked as evidence. At 1:56 a.m., Frank and I left Moyle's Bar and Grill and drove over to George Street Receiving Hospital. We talked to Dr. Hall. He told us that the 2 victims were receiving treatment and would recover. From personal effects, the suspect was identified as Carl Layden. We called the business office and made arrangements for his home to be checked. Dr. Hall told us that the man was in serious condition, but that we might be able to question him. We went into the treatment room. Layden was under heavy drugs.
Layden? Layden?
Yeah?
These men want to talk to you.
Well, tell them to go away. I don't want to talk to anybody. Tell them.
Layden, we want to ask you about tonight.
You a cop?
That's right.
You tell me something.
What's that?
How bad is it?
They're doing what they can. You lost a lot of blood.
Am I going to make it?
We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who are the other 2, Layden?
I don't know.
They left you alone. You don't owe them anything. Now, who are they?
Come on, Layden. How about the one in the car? What's the name?
They walked out on me, didn't they?
That's right. Now, what are the names?
How about it, Layden?
Oh, Norberg. He's one of them.
Norberg?
Yeah, Sam Norberg.
Has he done any big time?
I don't think so.
Well, which one is he, Layden? The one in the bar?
The driver.
How about the blonde? What's his name? Layden?
Wait a minute, Joe. You're going to have to stop. No more questions. He's too weak.
All right. We'll be outside, Doctor.
I'll be right with you.
Right.
What do you think?
I don't know. It's a good lead.
Yeah. You got a name. Let's find who worked it, huh?
Better run it through, I guess. Try to come up with an address.
Hope he's not the kind of guy who changes it 3-4 times a year.
Well, if he is, we can help him.
Yeah.
We'll give him a new one. At 2:30 a.m., Frank and I went back to the office. We contacted the team who'd checked Carl Layden's apartment. They told us they'd found nothing to help us in apprehending the other 2 suspects. The stakeout was set up on the place. We ran the name Sam Norberg through R&I, but we failed to turn a record on anyone answering his description. Frank checked the phone book and the city directory. We came up with 2 possibles. We asked Sergeant Bud Young and Officer Serrani from the business office to help us. 2:47 a.m., we got to the first address, 713 Larchmont Boulevard. It was a small bungalow. A tan 1953 Nash was parked in the driveway. The doors were locked and the radiator was still warm. While Young and Sirianni covered the door.
The car makes it look good.
Oh, you want to get the door?
Probably asleep.
Somebody's coming now.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Sam Norberg,
What do you want?
we want to talk to you. Police officers.
You guys know what time it is?
All right, move over.
Get this over fast. I got to get some sleep. I can't stay up half the night answering questions.
All right, stand still.
He's clean.
It must be really important to come around this late.
It is.
Anybody else in the house?
Oh, I got enough trouble trying to feed myself.
Well, you won't mind if we look around.
Make a difference if I did?
No, not much.
I figured that. Go ahead.
Check out back. Tell them it's okay.
Yeah.
Got the place surrounded? What do you expect to find, the purple gang?
I wonder if you're as good with the answers as you are at the question.
Look, you might think I'm a foul ball, but I don't know what you're after. I'll have to hand you this.
Yeah.
You guys must have me mixed up with somebody else.
You're Sam Norberg, aren't you?
Yeah?
Well, we didn't knock on the wrong door.
Okay, Joe. Place checked out clean.
You talk to Young and Sirianni?
Yeah, I'll wait for it. I told him this and look at this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to rush you, fellas, but you want to tell me what this all about?
That's your car out in the driveway?
Yeah, what?
You got the keys then, huh?
On the table there.
All right. You want to get dressed?
What for? I'm not going anyplace.
You keep believing that, but get your clothes on.
I got a coat in the closet.
Point it out. We'll get it.
There's only one there.
Right here. Now let's go. These the keys?
You see any more? I don't know what this is all about. When you find out you made a mistake, don't apologize. Just go away so I get me some sleep.
Yeah, sure. You can stand right there.
Badge makes you a big man,
You
doesn't it?
better keep your mouth closed. You're going to find you're in the wrong league here, mister.
I'll check the registration.
No reason to do that. I own the car.
How about it?
Got his name on it.
Well, who did you think you'd find? You come up with anything, I'll split with you.
Anything else?
Wait a minute. Take a look.
Norberg, you know a Carl Layden?
Never heard of him.
You sure about that?
I told you.
And this is your car.
Well, you know that.
Well, then maybe you can explain this.
What?
This driver's license
What about it?
belongs to Carl Layden.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
We made a thorough search of Sam Norberg's house, but we failed to turn up anything more to tie him in with the robberies. He was taken downtown to the city hall for questioning. 4:30 a.m.
Where'd you first meet Layden?
I don't even know.
Well, then you can tell us how his driver's license turned up in your car, can't you?
No, I can't tell you.
He said it was your car.
Yeah?
It was locked when we found it.
That's pretty smart figuring.
Well, I hope you're going to do something now.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know how long you think you're going to be able to keep this up. We got you nailed and you know it. Now, why don't you tell us what we want to know and we can all go home and get some sleep.
I'd sure like to help you, but I don't even know what you're talking about.
Layden says he knows you.
When'd he say that?
Tonight. Said you drove the car for him and the other guy.
Where'd you see him?
Layden?
Yeah.
Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. He's unhappy with you boys. Figures you ran out on him. Willing to fill us in on the whole deal.
With him on our side and the witnesses to the robbery tonight, you're in real trouble, Norbert.
This on the level?
Right down the line.
I heard Layden didn't make it.
You heard wrong.
You want us to put in a call so you can talk to him?
Lousy deal. Clint told me he was dead.
Clint's the blonde fella, isn't he?
Yeah, Clint Purnell. Told me all about how Layden didn't make it to the door of the place. Said he went right out.
Well, that's not right.
I'll check on it.
Okay.
That lousy Clint.
You know where he is?
No, if I did, I'd give it to you.
When'd you see him last?
Tonight, I dropped him off downtown.
Where?
Clifton Springs. Said he had a big day.
Uh-huh.
Should have known not to trust Clint. Yeah. You got a cigarette?
Here.
Thanks.
Help yourself. How long you known Purnell?
I don't know. A couple of months.
Where'd you meet him?
A bar out on First Street. Layden and me used to go there all the time.
Uh-huh.
Layden and me have been good friends for a long time. We never been in trouble before we met Clint.
Purnell set up the deal?
Yeah. He started to talk to us about we could pick up some easy money. He laid out the whole idea. Layden and me told him we'd never been hung up in anything like it before.
Mm-hmm.
He said he knew enough for all of us. Clint's a pretty good talker. Guess it don't make a lot of difference, though. We could have said no.
Where's Purnell live?
He had a place out on Venice Boulevard.
You got an address?
No, but I can show you where it is.
How'd you do?
I don't think we got it. Take a look at these.
Hmm?
Mr. Clint Purnell you're talking about?
Yeah, that's him. He's older than that now.
Mm-hmm.
He's better looking in person than he is in that picture.
Well, he probably had an off day.
Well, his clothes make him look different, too. The dark shirt.
He always wear them, does he?
Yeah, I never saw him anything else. He asked me one day why I always wore a white shirt. Said it was square.
Mm-hmm.
Asked me how long I could wear a white shirt. I told him one day.
Yeah.
Says I'm crazy. Big deal about how he can wear a dark shirt 3 or 4 days and the dirt don't show on the collar. Thinks people don't know the difference. They can tell.
How many theater jobs did you go on?
5.
How come you switched to cafes?
That was Clint's idea.
Said you might have the show staked out.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we did, he planned it. We asked about something, he said not to worry about it. He had it all figured.
Yeah.
Oh, we said he was as smart as any cop. Kept telling us you made mistakes.
We do.
That's what he said.
He should have told you the rest of it.
What do you mean?
We can make him more than once. We took Sam Norberg down to the carpool and we drove him out on Venice Boulevard. He pointed out the rooming house where Clint Purnell lived. While I waited with Norberg, Frank went up to check with the manager. In a couple of minutes, he came back.
Now, looks like we missed it.
What do you mean?
Manager says Purnell was here about 2:30.
Yeah.
Packed his bags and left.
Frank and I, along with the suspect, went up and looked over the room. Apparently, Purnell had left in a hurry. We talked to the manager, but he was unable to tell us where the suspect had gone. He did tell us that Purnell had driven up to the place in a car and, after packing his belongings, had left. The manager went on to say that he knew the suspect didn't own an automobile himself and that he'd gotten the license number of the car in the event that there might be any trouble. We called the Department of Motor Vehicles, and we found that the car was registered to a Mrs. Robert Sherburne, 297 Colorado Boulevard. Frank and I went back to the main jail and booked Sam Norberg in on suspicion of robbery. After that, we drove out to talk to the Sherburne woman. The address was a riding academy in Griffith Park. We left the car down the street and walked onto the ground.
Wonder what the pitch is. Purnell driving a car registered to a Mrs. Sherburne.
I don't know.
Guess this is the office, huh?
That's what the sign says.
I'm so beat I'm having trouble seeing the building, let alone the sign.
I don't know.
It's kind of early. Maybe no one's up.
There's got to be somebody around. Let's try it again.
Yeah.
Yes?
Miss Sherburne?
That's right.
Police officers. This is my partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
What's wrong?
How do you do, ma'am? We'd like to ask you a couple of questions about
Robert,
your car.
isn't it? Something's happened to Robert.
No, ma'am.
You don't have to lie to me. I know that's it. Robert smashed up the car and he's been hurt.
No, ma'am, that's not it. You know a man named Clint Purnell?
Not about my husband?
No.
Oh, that's a relief. He left for Bakersfield this morning. I thought there'd been an accident. I was scared. Like when you're baking a cake and somebody slams the door, you have to check the oven, but you're afraid to look and you're afraid not to. Yeah, you know how that is.
Yes, ma'am. Now, about Clint Purnell, do you know him?
Yes, I do. He's my stepbrother. Is that why you're here?
What's that?
Clint in trouble again?
We'd like to talk to him.
I guess I should have known it. Clint never comes around unless he's in trouble.
You seen him then?
Yes, he came by last night. Said he wanted to borrow the station wagon to pick up his stuff. He said he was going back east because he couldn't make a go of it here on the coast.
Do you know where he is now?
Yes. He's back in the tack room. Said he doesn't have any place to sleep, and I let him use the cot in there.
All right.
What kind of trouble's he in this time?
Be better if we talk to him.
Well, whatever it is, I'm not going to stand behind him. He promised me. He promised Robert. If he's running again, he isn't going to get any help from us.
All right, where's this tack room?
Back there. The second door.
Thank you.
I hope there isn't going to be any trouble.
Well, if there is, he'll have to start it. Want to try the door?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
What are you
All right,
doing?
Purnell, come on, get up.
What are you doing in here?
Hey.
Well, you got no right to come in here like this.
Get your hands around it.
I'll check.
All right.
Stand still. He's clean, Joe.
Want to check the bed?
Yeah.
You guys got a lot of nerve busting in here like this. No reason for it.
Yeah, sure.
45 automatic under his pillow.
Big deal. So you found a gun. What's that prove? You carry him, too.
Yeah, but there's a big difference, mister.
Is that right?
Yeah, we get paid for it.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On January 20th, trial was held in Department 97, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. Samuel Garland Norberg, Carl Franklin Layton, and Clinton Ward Purnell were tried and convicted of robbery in the first degree, 5 counts, and assault with intent to commit murder, 1 count. They received sentence as prescribed by law. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of not less than 5 years. Assault with intent to commit murder is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 1 to 14 years.
You have just heard Dragnet,
dramatic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. You get a call from a man who tells you his wife has failed to keep an appointment. There's no trace of her. There's evidence of foul play. Your job? Find her.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Friday, August 7th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of homicide detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Lorman. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from missing persons, and it was 1:27 a.m. when I got back to room 42, homicide squad room.
Hi, Joe. You talked to Graham?
Yeah, I just got in.
How'd they do?
Well, they came up with a kid.
Where'd they find him?
The boyfriends. They were watching TV. The missing youngster had told his friend his mother knew he was there.
Uh-huh. Everything's all right then, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Graham said the kid's going to have to eat standing up for a few days.
You know, it's a funny thing about parents.
What do you mean?
A thing like this happens and all they care about is getting their kids back.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, they begin to think about it and get sore. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
You figured you got a couple of kids.
Yeah, I guess it'd be the same way.
I got it. Homicide Friday. Yes, sir, that's right. Well, where were you supposed to meet her? Well, have you checked there? Let's see. All right, you want to give me that address? Yes, sir. No, we'll be right out. Right. Goodbye, sir. We got one we better check here.
Yeah?
Bartender out of Normandy. Says his wife was supposed to meet him a half hour ago, and she hasn't shown up.
He called his house?
Yeah, she's not there either. Says she's never been late before.
Yeah, it's always the first time.
Well, he doesn't think so.
Huh?
He thinks she's been kidnapped. Frank and I left the office and drove over to the bar. It was located on the corner of Normandy Avenue and Monroe Street. In the event the story we'd gotten on the phone was true and the woman had been kidnapped, we parked the car down the street and I walked back to the place. A couple of minutes later, Frank followed. We met the man who'd placed the call, George Cabot. We asked him to tell us what was wrong.
Sure didn't waste any time getting here.
You want to tell us what's happened?
Yeah, my wife's gone.
How do you mean?
Ethel's disappeared.
Well, when did you see her last?
This morning when I left the house.
Have you talked to her since then?
Yeah, 12:55 tonight. She called here to tell me she was on the way down.
Mm-hmm. Did she seem all right then?
Yeah, as far as I could tell.
Possible that she might have stopped at one of the neighbors?
Well, I thought about that, too, but I checked. None of them have seen her.
You called your home, Andy.
Yeah, I didn't get any answer. I tell you, something's happened to Ethel. I'm about to blow my cork not knowing what it is.
Well, maybe she's still at the house and didn't hear the phone ring.
Yeah, I figured that, too. Maybe that's her. Hello. Ethel, what? No, this is Cabot's Bar and Grill. Yes, ma'am. Who?
No, I didn't see him tonight. No, I'm sure. Yeah, I'd know him. No, lady, I'm not lying for him. He isn't here. Yeah, if I see him, I will. Yeah, good night. Wasn't her.
Yeah.
Woman's in the same fix I'm in, only she can't find her husband.
Cabot?
Yes, sir.
I hope you won't be offended by this, but does your wife drink?
You mean you think she stopped at some bar and got gassed up and just didn't show up? Is that what you mean?
No, that's not exactly what I meant. I just asked if your wife drank.
Well, you got it all wrong. Ethel has a martini once in a while before dinner, but if she wanted to drink any more than that, she could come down here and I'd pour for her.
All right. It's a question we have to ask. You understand that?
Just as long as you don't think that Ethel's a lush, because she is.
You said you checked your house, huh?
Yeah, when she didn't show up, I waited a while, and then I got worried and called Mrs. Lawrence. She's the lady next door.
Mm-hmm.
Asked her if she'd seen Ethel.
Yeah.
She said my wife had been over there all evening. They were playing that baseball game, line drive, you know, with the cards.
I don't think I know it.
It's a new game. Anyway, they played that for a while, and then they watched the television, and at 12:30, Ethel said she had to come down and meet me. Mrs. Lawrence said she left the house then and drove away.
Mm-hmm.
This neighbor's kind of bubbleheaded, you know. She's not real bright about things, so I thought that maybe Ethel had gotten sick and couldn't answer the phone when I called.
Yeah.
I called a cab and went home. The car was gone, so was Ethel. I checked the whole house and the yard. Not a sign of her. Looked in the front closet, too. Her coat was gone. I'm sure she'd left the house.
Mm-hmm.
I had the cab driver come back to the bar the same way that Ethel always drives it. I thought maybe there was an accident or something. If there was, I'd be able to see it. You know, people or cops.
Yeah, I understand.
Wasn't anything.
Does she always come down here at night?
Regular as clockwork. Never misses. Excuse me.
Yeah, sure.
Hello. Yeah. No, I remember. No, ma'am, I haven't seen him. Look, lady, I got my own troubles. I'm not trying to cover up for your husband. Well, it doesn't make any difference to me or not what you think. He isn't here. Okay, that's fine with me. Never ran up more than a 30-cent tab anyway. And even then, he ate all the peanuts on the bar, and you tell him I said so. Yeah, good night. Real crackpot.
You were saying that your wife made it a practice to come down here, is that right?
That's right. You see, our boy was killed in the Pacific 5 years ago, our only kid. We both took it pretty hard. It got on Ethel's nerves sitting around the house by herself, so she'd drive down to pick me up. Get here a little early and help me with the cleanup.
Yes, sir.
Called at 12:55 to say she was leaving, walk in the door at 1:05. Didn't vary more than a minute either way.
Mm-hmm.
Depend on the light at the corner of Denmore and Santa Monica. If she makes it green, it's 1:04 when she walks in. Otherwise, she's a minute later.
I see. Does she always call before she leaves the house?
I can walk over to the phone at 5:01 and pick it up. Know she's going to be on the other end.
Has your wife been in good mental spirits lately, do you know?
How do you mean?
Well, I mean, has there been anything on her mind? Anything that worried her more than usual?
No, she didn't say anything. If there was, I'd have been able to tell.
Is there any special reason why you think she's been kidnapped?
Just that she's gone. It isn't like Ethel to do something like this. I know it's not her idea.
Never done anything like this before, then?
No?
Mm-hmm. Do you have a picture of her we could have?
Sure, I got one in my wallet. Probably that woman again. Oh, look, I haven't seen you. What? Now, look, don't you try that with me. No, I don't. If you hurt her, I'll make you sorry the rest of your life. Hello? Hello?
Cabot? Cabot?
What?
What's the matter?
Nothing. I guess I made a mistake about the whole thing.
How do you mean that?
I guess nothing's happened to Ethel. Just forget I called you about it.
Is that the way you want it?
Yeah, I'm sorry to cause you all the trouble. I'd like to buy you a drink if I can.
No, thanks.
Sorry about the whole thing.
You want to tell us what they said?
Who?
Party on the phone, man.
I don't want to talk about anything.
You're not going to help your wife that way. Now, what did they ask for?
Look, I told you guys it was all a mistake. Now, why not let it go at that?
How about the picture you were going to give us?
There's no reason for it. The whole thing's a goof-up.
The way you talked on the phone didn't make it sound that way.
All right, she's gone. Those are the people who have her.
They asked for money?
No. They said for me to sit tight and not to tell anybody or they'd kill Ethel. I'm going to do like they say.
You're taking a big responsibility on yourself, Cabot.
Maybe so, but she's my wife.
This is a big city. It's going to be a little tough for us to find the kidnappers without your help.
Not so bad.
How do you mean that?
I got an idea who they are. It isn't going to be too hard to find out.
You go out on a limb and you may give your wife more trouble than help.
Ethel's my wife.
You're not going to let us help you then, huh?
No, and I don't want to go over it anymore. I got the only stake in this anyway.
Well, you're wrong about that.
What?
What about your wife? Because of his attitude, it was useless to question George Cabot any further. We left the bar and got in touch with the office. We made arrangements for a complete 24-hour surveillance to be kept on him. In most cases of this type, the kidnappers usually demand that the victim's friends or relatives stay away from law enforcement agencies. They do this to stall for time. Statistics prove that in the vast majority of cases, the victim's fate was decided long before the kidnapping occurred. It never is the intent of any officer to endanger the life of a kidnapped victim, but at the same time, it is necessary for them to have all available information so that they can move rapidly when the case does break. In an effort to gain more information on the missing woman, Frank and I went over to see the victim's next-door neighbor. She identified herself as Carol Lawrence and asked us into the house.
I'm not sure this is quite proper, you know.
What's that, Miss Lawrence?
A couple of men in my house at this hour, especially with me in my bathrobe.
Oh, I'm sure the neighbors will understand.
Oh, I hope so. A couple of real gabby ones from the street, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Big mouths.
Yes, ma'am.
Guess you being policeman, it's all right, you think?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then. What do you want to know?
When did you see Miss Cabot last?
You mean Ethel?
That's right.
I saw her tonight. Why?
What time did you leave?
Well, I guess it was about 12:30.
Say where she was going?
Didn't have to.
What do you mean?
Ethel only goes one place that time of night.
Yeah.
Down to pick up George.
We understand she usually calls him before she leaves.
That's right. I left here at 12:30, went next door to get a coat. A couple of minutes later, I heard her drive off.
What can you tell us about her?
Nice woman. Real nice.
Yes, ma'am.
We're great chums, you know. Belong to the same club and see a lot of each other.
Mm-hmm.
You see, my husband's gone, and Ethel's man works every night, so she's alone a lot of the time, too.
I understand.
Ever since their boy was killed, she's been kind of empty.
How was that?
Their boy was killed.
Yes,
she's
ma'am.
been kind of empty ever since.
I see.
Then, too, George don't help much.
Well, what do you mean, Miss Lawrence?
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
Well, it's all right, ma'am.
Oh, I sure don't want to get nobody in trouble.
Well, you won't.
You won't nose it around that I told you anything.
No, ma'am.
How about you?
No, ma'am.
One thing I can't go is a person who carries tails. Just can't go. And don't want anybody to say that about me.
Well, yes, ma'am. What is it you're going to say?
I guess it'll be all right. You're so honest looking.
Thank you.
He is, too.
Yes, ma'am.
What would you like to tell us, Miss Lawrence?
Well, you know, poor Ethel isn't very happy.
Is that so?
Oh, my. Yeah, I feel so sorry for her sometimes.
What about?
Well, it's that husband of hers.
Mr. Cabot?
Yeah, oh, he's a good provider and all, but I always say there's more to life than just that.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice home, good car, paid bills and all, but George isn't the fella he makes out, you know.
That so?
Why do you think Ethel goes down to that bar to pick him up every night?
Well, we don't know. Why don't you tell us?
You're a man. You should be able to figure it out. She doesn't trust him. That's why.
Uh-huh.
All those girls hanging around the bar. Ethel notices things like that. George has got pretty big eyes, too. It doesn't take a lot of imagination to add it all up.
Well, has Mrs. Cabot ever talked to you about all this?
A couple of times. She'd come over, crying because of something George had said or done. She'd tell me.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir. No matter what it looked like, they weren't very happy.
Did they ever quarrel that you know of?
A lot of times. George used to yell at her, scream about her, leaving him alone. You could hear it over here. Summertime, you know. The windows are open. Sound carries right over. Couldn't really not hear it. And mind, I didn't try.
Yes, we understand. Any of these quarrels ever get violent, do you know?
You mean, did George ever hit her?
That's right.
Oh, you bet he did. Gave her a black eye once. Took a couple of weeks for it to go away. Poor Ethel. She tried to hide it with makeup. She could still tell.
I see. When she left, did she say that she was going down to pick up her husband?
Yeah. Told me she had to go get George. Made her a little mad tonight.
Why is that?
Missed the last part of the movie on TV.
I see.
Ethel had to leave before we found out who the swindler was.
Uh-huh. Can you tell us what kind of a car the Cabots drive?
Pontiac.
Coupe or sedan?
Sedan, light blue.
What year?
This one. Brand new.
Mm-hmm. Do you happen to know the license number?
No. Couldn't give that to you. Didn't pay a lot of attention.
Do you know if they do business with one service station?
No, I can't tell you that.
Can you give us a description of Mrs. Cabot?
Sure. I'll give you a picture if you want
We
one.
appreciate it.
It's no trouble at all.
All right.
I got a scrapbook here. Shots of Ethel.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, here's that pencil sharpener I was looking for. Here now. Now, I know it's here.
Is that it there, the book?
No. That's my high school annual. Now, wait just a minute. Well, it is here. I know it is here. Oh, here it is. I took all these myself.
Yes, ma'am. They're very nice.
Oh, that's my husband. I took that at Coronado Island one spring. Yeah. Oh, here's one you can take. This one here in the chef's hat, that's Ethel. We were having a barbecue, and she was the cook. It's a little fuzzy, but it gives you an idea what she looks like, you see. Well, her hair's cut short now. Had it cut last month. Kind of bob, like. Well, you can take it.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
You know, I just thought of it. You haven't told me what this is all about. Something happened to Ethel and George?
Well, we're not sure yet. We're just checking out a complaint.
Oh, well, as long as you're all right.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I think that about covers it. Sure like to thank you for your cooperation.
No, I'm happy to help.
Good night, Miss Morris.
Good night, Mr. Smith.
There's one more thing. Will you be home tomorrow if we have to get in touch with you?
All day. If I don't answer right away, let the phone ring for a while. I got some work to do in the garden.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Well, I hope I helped you out. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. What do you think?
I don't know. The way she tells it, something's out of line, isn't it?
Well, Cabot seemed to be pretty upset when he got that phone call.
There's only one big trouble with that.
What do you mean?
Maybe that's what he wanted us to think. 2:45 a.m. Frank and I got back to the office. We ran the names George and Ethel Cabot through R&I, but we found no record on them. We sent a teletype to DMV up in Sacramento asking for all available information on a car registered to George Cabot or his wife or both. Frank went over to the business office to see if the men in the units that were keeping Cabot under surveillance had reported in. There were no messages. We made a 15.7 report directing it to Captain Lorman, telling him of what had happened and what action we'd taken. At 3:52 a.m., we were ready to leave the office.
You all set?
Yeah. Now, let's go.
All right.
I get it.
Make it fast, huh?
Homicide, Friday. Where? Yeah. Okay, we'll be right over.
What do you got?
Ethel Cabot.
Yeah?
We just found her.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
Frank and I left the office and immediately drove over to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. When we got there, we talked to Dr. Sebastian, and he gave us the whole story. The woman had been found lying by the roadside. She was picked up by a motorist. He'd taken her directly to the hospital. Sebastian went on to tell us that from her appearance, Ethel Cabot had been severely beaten and then rolled or dragged in hot tar. Her clothes were covered with it. Her hair was matted. The doctor said that the woman's head had been shaved and that most of the tar had been removed. A tentative identification had been made through a letter found on her person when she'd been brought in. An attempt was made to call her husband, but there was no answer at either the bar or at their home. Frank and I waited until the woman had been treated. Then we went in to talk to her. She was in a state of severe shock, and she was incoherent.
Don't hit me anymore. Please don't hit me anymore.
It's out of her hand.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. Don't hit me.
Miss Cabot. Miss Cabot.
Please let me go. Please.
You're all right now. There's nothing to be afraid of here.
You're lying.
You're in a hospital, Miss Cabot. You're all right.
Don't let him get me anymore. Don't let him touch me.
Nobody's going to hurt you, Miss Cabot.
Where's George?
We're trying to reach him, ma'am.
I don't want to see him. Whatever. All his fault.
George caused this?
They told me.
Well, who said that?
Both of them. They said they were doing it for George.
There were two people?
Yes. He kept hitting me. And he poured the tar over me. Wasn't anything I could do. Nothing.
Did you know these men?
They kept hitting me. George, tell him to stop. Not anymore, please. Not anymore.
Miss Cabot, do you know who the two men were?
No, I don't know him. They didn't have any reason to do it. Except for George. That's what they told me. I didn't know they were going to hit me like that.
Did you hear a name?
No, I don't know him.
Did either one of them call a name of any kind?
Please make him stop. Don't let him pour any more tar on me.
Miss Cabot.
Burns. I can't stand anymore.
Miss Cabot, can you tell us what the men looked like?
George, tell him to stop. Tell him.
Miss Cabot,
No, we're not going to get much more out of her, Joe.
No. Better get a policewoman up here to stand by.
Yeah.
George, stop.
Joe?
Yeah, Dave.
While you were talking, the cabinet woman call came in for you to get in touch with the business office.
Okay, Dave, right away.
They probably got a line on Cabot.
Hello, this Friday. When? Okay, we're leaving right now. Right, bye. Well, that really tears it.
What's that?
They just lost the tail on Cabot. Frank and I went back to the office. We got in touch with the unit who'd been assigned to keep Cabot under surveillance. They told us that the man had gone downtown and had entered an all-night movie. In the darkness, he managed to get away. A team of men was sent out to his house, but he hadn't returned. A stakeout was set up on it. A check of his bar failed to yield any additional information as to his whereabouts. A local broadcast was sent out to all units asking that they be on the lookout for the man. If he was found, he was to be taken into custody, and we were to be notified immediately. 6:45 a.m. Frank and I checked out of the office, and we went home to shave and change our clothes. At 8:15 a.m., we got back to homicide. There was somebody waiting to see us.
You want to see us?
You Friday and Smith?
That's right.
I'm Arnold Leffer. I got something to tell you.
All right.
You heard from Cabot?
No.
Oh, I figured maybe he'd call you.
You know him?
Yeah, I work for him. Help out in his place.
You heard from him?
Yeah, this morning. He called me at home.
Did he say where he was?
No, but I think he'd been drinking. He sounded like it.
Yeah.
It was either that or he was mad, one or the other.
Is that right?
Yeah, last time I heard him talk like he did this morning was when he had that beef in the bar about a week ago.
What was that all about?
Oh, a couple of guys thought they were pretty rough, tried to prove it to George.
Yeah.
Well, he cleaned up the place with him.
What caused that beef?
Well, they started to get loud with a couple of girls in the place. George told them to quiet down. They didn't do it, so he told them to get out.
Yeah.
They didn't want to go, and they tried to put the muscle on George, but they tried it with the wrong guy. George really showed them.
That's all?
Oh, yeah. Bounced them both right out in the street. Guys were pretty sore about it.
When did this happen?
About a week ago. I don't remember the exact date.
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty sore. Told George they'd find some way to get even with him.
I get it. Homicide, Friday. He's not here right now. Can I take a message? Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. No, he's not working today. Yes, ma'am. Well, if you give me your number, I'll have him call when he gets in. All right. That's 98. Yes, ma'am. No, it's right in the message book. No, he'll see it. That's right. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. No, he'll look at the book when he comes in. No, the first thing. You bet. Well, you're more than welcome. Yes, ma'am. Bye. You know these two men?
Yeah, I've seen them a couple of times around the bar.
You know their names?
Well, one of them's called Jack something or other. I don't know the last part.
How about the other one?
I can't do you any good there.
You know where we can find them?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I come in here. I want to tell you what George said to me.
Yeah.
Well, he said he found out who kidnapped Ethel. Told me he was going to get him. He mentioned this Jack. Figured it was the same guy.
Where can we find him?
Well, there's a rooming house over on 7th. I can show you.
Well, let's go.
Look, there's something else, though.
What's that?
Well, I was at the bar when George called, and after I talked to him, I checked around.
Yeah.
His gun's gone.
Frank and I left the office and drove over to 7th Street. The bar boy pointed out the rooming house where he said we could find Jack and his friend. We checked with the manager and found that two men answering the description we'd gotten shared a room on the 3rd floor. We left Arnold Leffer in the car, and we went up to the room.
Should be the last one.
Yeah.
Wonder if Cabot's gotten there yet.
He has. Come on. Let's kick it in. All right. All right, Cabot, let him go.
Let him go.
Get him away.
All right, come on. Please don't stop me.
It's crazy. This guy's crazy.
Come on, Cabot. Take it easy now.
Come on. Come on over here. Get over there.
Oh, you should keep him away from me.
Go on, move.
No.
What do you think you're going to prove doing a thing like this, Cabot?
A couple of minutes more, I wouldn't have cared.
We found your wife. She's going to be all right.
Yeah, I know.
You didn't help yourself much doing a thing like this.
He's crazy.
You shut up.
All right, now, come on. Calm down, both of you, and stand still.
All right.
How about this one?
Name's Rico Martin. Him and Jack took my wife.
They admit it?
Yeah, they said they did it to get even with me for the fight.
Well, we didn't hurt her. We just scared her a little bit, that's all.
They're right.
Well, what difference does it make? We're going to beat it anyway.
You are, huh?
Sure.
All we got to do is come up with the right plea.
And you got it all figured, haven't you?
Sure, there's a lot of ways we can go.
Yeah, we got one in mind.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On December 14th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. Jack Prescott Bischoff and Rico Blake Martin were tried and convicted of kidnapping, one count. They both received sentence as prescribed by law. Kidnapping with bodily injury is punishable by life imprisonment without possibility of parole or by death in the lethal gas chamber.
Just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned the missing persons detail. You get a call that a man has failed to return to his home. There's reason to suspect foul play. Your job, investigate.
It was Friday, January 2nd. It was overcast in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of Homicide Division, missing persons detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Warman. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from communications, and it was 8:12 a.m. when I got to room 24. Squad room.
Well, it's hard to believe, isn't it? January 2nd. Another year gone by.
Yeah.
You see this evening's sports page?
No, I didn't. Why?
Still talking about that Rose Bowl game.
Oh, is that so?
You know, Joe, looks to me like that last play of the game's going to end up like the Dempsey-Tunney thing.
The what?
It's a Dempsey-Tunney fight.
Oh, no, I don't think it will.
Oh, yeah. Big controversy over that last play.
Well, since when? All the sports writers agree.
Well, that's where you're wrong, Joe.
How do you figure that? I read them all. Examiner, Times, Herald, News, The Mirror. They all agree the officials called it right.
Uh-huh. All the sports writers, huh?
Every one of them.
Apparently you haven't seen this.
I've never seen that paper before in my life.
No, that's where you're wrong, Joe. All the writers don't agree on that last play, see? Finchley Crockett, right there, you can see for yourself.
Who?
Finchley Crockett.
Who's he?
Only the sports editor, that's all.
The editor of what? What paper is this?
Jesse County Realist. Picked it up tonight on my way in.
Yeah, well, the game's over, so let's just forget about it. What do you say?
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm. Just overlook the only right call on the game, huh? Just pass it right by. Joe, Finchley Crockett's never been wrong. Called the World Series, the All-Star game, picked the heavyweight champ before the fight. He's accurate, Joe.
Well, good for him. But it's over and the score still stands. Next year's another game, okay?
Listen to this. I'm going to read this column to you. The Bird Says by Finchley Crockett.
What's the name of the column?
The Bird. Bird Crockett.
Who?
When? Oh, I forgot to tell you. When Crockett played for the Trojans, his nickname was the Bird.
I don't remember anybody by that name playing for USC.
No, Joe. JCU. Jesse County Trojans.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Now listen to what he says. It is a rare treat when the editor of a small-town paper gets to see one of the nation's bowl games. But your editor was so treated this week at the county seat. As you all know, the new television transmitter is now operating, and it is a rare treat. As you know, there's nothing like being at the game, but it is a rare treat when the editor of a small-town paper gets to see one of the nation's bowl games. He's a real great guy, Joe.
Yeah.
And in closing, yours truly would like to go on record and say that the last play of the game was a complete mystery to me.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. That's it, Joe. He made his point.
That's all there is to the entire column?
Well, that's it. It proves that all the sports writers didn't agree on the last play of the game.
I get it. Missing persons Friday. Yes, ma'am. That's right. All right, we'll be right out. No, ma'am. Right away. Bye.
What do you got?
Missing husband.
Yeah.
Wife says he and another man went out this afternoon. He's over 3 hours late getting home.
It's kind of early to start worrying, huh?
No, not the way she puts it.
What do you mean?
Well, the fellow with him.
Yeah.
Her husband was going to have him put in jail. 8:32 p.m. Frank and I left the office and drove out to the address. It was located on Agatha Street. The lettering on the window read, Helmer's Mannikin Rental and Sales. The store was dark except for a single light at the rear of the place. We knocked, and a small woman in her 50s answered the door. We identified ourselves, and she asked us in.
You want to come back to the office?
Thank you.
Watch your steps there. It's kind of dark.
Thank you. These dummies sure look like real people.
Yes, we specialize in lifelike models.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on the books, trying to keep my mind off of what's happened.
Uh-huh.
You want to sit down?
That's all right, Miss Helmer. You go ahead. You want to tell us what this is all about now?
Jason's gone.
That's your husband's name, Jason Helmer?
That's right.
How old is he?
He's 53. He had a birthday last October.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think something's happened to him?
Because it's not like him to do a thing like this without telling me.
And you told me on the phone that you'd heard from him. Is that right?
Well, not from him. Fred Madison called me.
And when was that?
I guess it was about 5:45. It might have been 6, no later.
Well, what did this fellow Madison say to you?
Told me that Jason was coming right home.
Were they together when he called, you know?
Fred said they were.
Did you talk to your husband?
No. At the time, I didn't think it'd be necessary.
Mm-hmm. You know where they called from?
Well, Fred said some bar.
Did he mention a name?
No, and I didn't ask. I guess I was afraid to.
What do you mean?
Well, Jason used to drink quite a bit. We had a lot of trouble over it. Seemed like everything was falling apart, and then he straightened up and quit.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had a drink of liquor in 10 years. When Fred called, I thought that maybe he'd gotten Jason started again.
Did he say your husband had been drinking?
No, he just told me that Jason was leaving the bar and would be right home.
Was he driving?
Well, I don't know.
Ma'am?
My husband hurt his shoulder a couple of days ago. He wrenched it. I don't think he's able to drive very well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he might try to make it with one hand. Our car has that automatic drive thing, you know. You don't have to shift gears.
Yes, ma'am.
But I don't think he'd have driven.
Did he leave in your car?
Yes. Fred told him he'd drive.
Where'd they go?
Well, like I told you on the phone, to the races.
Mm-hmm. Your husband usually go there?
No. The only reason he went today was to collect some money.
From who?
Fred.
He's the man your husband was going to put in jail, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Why?
Well, he's owed us some money for quite a while. About 4 months ago, Jason asked him for it. Fred wrote a check.
I see.
And it wasn't any good.
Well, if you want to go ahead.
Well, Jason tried to get in touch with Fred and wanted to give him the chance to make good on the check.
Mm-hmm.
He was never able to catch him at home. Talked to him on the phone. But Fred was never there when my husband went over to see him.
Yeah.
Jason told him to have the money this morning or the bad check would be turned over to the police.
Wow.
Fred showed up here this morning. We thought he'd come to pay the money, but he told us he didn't have it. And Jason said there wasn't any reason to spend more time on it, said they might as well go to the police.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Fred told us that he could get the money out at the racetrack. He wanted Jason to drive him out there.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. At first, Jason didn't want to, with his sore shoulder.
Yes, ma'am.
He told Fred to take a bus. Fred said he didn't have any money and begged my husband to drive him, told him how he'd pay the money he owed and have enough to get home.
Yeah.
Well, they left here about 11.
Did this Fred Madison say who he was going to get the money from?
No, just that it was some friend.
Can you give us a description of your husband's car?
Yes. I've got the license number, too, if you want it.
How about a description of both men?
Well, I can give you that.
All right, Miss Allen.
Sergeant?
Yes, ma'am.
You've been through this kind of thing before. You ought to know.
What's that?
About Jason. Do you think he's all right?
Well, I wouldn't know, Miss Helmer. We'll try to find out.
We've been so close the last 10 years, ever since he stopped drinking. I guess that's what I'm afraid of more than anything else. Him starting up again.
Yes, ma'am, I can understand.
Do you think he might have started up again?
Well, I wouldn't know that either, but I'd say things might be in your favor.
Well, how's that?
Well, 10 years is a long time.
Yeah?
Good habits are hard to break, too. Before we left the store, we got a complete description of Jason Helmer and Fred Madison. We also got Madison's address and the license number of the car they were driving. Mrs. Helmer gave us a recent photograph of her husband, and we checked with R&I on both men. We found a record on each one of them. Helmer had been booked 12 times for drunk. The last one was over 10 years ago. Madison had been picked up for drunk, suspicion of burglary, and writing checks without sufficient funds. We checked the jails and the hospitals, and we found that neither man had been booked in the last 5 hours. We went back to the office and got a local and an APB on both men and the car. 9:46 p.m. We drove out to talk to Fred Madison. There was no one at home, but we got the information that his wife was employed at a restaurant on Clay Street. We went over to see her.
Can I help you?
Yeah. I'd like to see Mrs. Madison, please.
Who are you?
Police officers. This is my partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday. Here's our identification.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm Lorna Madison. What do you want?
A few questions we'd like to ask.
You mind going in the back to talk? I don't want everybody in the place to know my business.
All right.
Booth back here. Been hard enough to keep the job. Go ahead. Sit down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I get you some coffee?
No, thank you.
Oh, ma'am.
I don't have to ask you what this is all about. I guess.
Beg pardon?
Something about Fred?
Yes, ma'am.
What'd he do?
Well, we're not sure that he's done anything yet, Miss Madison.
And why are you here?
We're trying to find him.
He is in trouble.
We just want to talk to him.
Could you tell us where he might be?
You should be home. Are you tied there?
Yes, we have.
Well, I don't know then. He left this morning and said he'd be home early.
Have you heard from him?
No.
Did he say where he was going when he left?
The racetrack.
Was he going with anybody, would you know?
He didn't say.
What kind of work does your husband do, Miss Madison?
He's a collector.
What's that?
He collects corks and bottles.
Ma'am?
I'm trying to tell you he doesn't work. He just drinks.
Mm-hmm. And how could he afford to go to the races?
He can't. The only money he's got's what he can borrow from other people to steal from my purse.
Mm-hmm. Did he say why he was going to the races?
No, I don't care what he does anymore. I tried to help him, but he doesn't make any effort to change. Just goes on drinking and feeling sorry for himself.
Any idea where he'd go if he was drinking?
Any place where he can mooch a drink. He's even tried it here.
Can you give us the name of any of the places?
Yeah, I can tell you, but will you tell me what he's done?
Well, it's just like we said, Miss Madison. We're not sure that he's done anything yet.
That's the truth?
Yes, ma'am. We'd just like to talk to him.
All right. I think I can help you find him. I got a phone call earlier this evening.
From your husband?
No, from a friend of ours in the valley, David Neeson. Fred had called him.
Mm-hmm.
Fred wanted to use his place tonight. Davis said he could. I asked him if Fred had been drinking. He said he couldn't tell, but I know he has. Follows a pattern.
How's that, Miss Madison?
He's done it before. Go out to David's place, drink himself into a stupor. David always calls me, so I won't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Could I ask something of your offices?
All right.
If you find him there, will you do what you can for him?
What do you think it's going to do any good?
What do you mean, Mr. Friday?
I don't think he'd take our help, would he?
Why?
He didn't want yours. Miss Mrs. Madison gave us the address of the place where her husband was supposed to be. We also got the address and phone number of David Neeson. We put in a call to him, but he hadn't heard from Madison. Frank and I left the restaurant and drove out to the San Fernando Valley. On the way out, it started to rain. 3113 Nordhoff Street was a small redwood house. We parked the car and walked up onto the porch. Frank tried the door. Better try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's there?
Madison, open the door.
Oh, I didn't know anything.
Come on, Madison, open up.
Doesn't sound like he's doing too good.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Let's talk inside.
Well, sure. Wouldn't keep anybody out at night like this. Come on in.
Police officers.
Yeah. Well, let's go over by the fire, huh? It's cold out here in the middle of the room.
You Fred Madison?
Well, that's what you called me when you pounded on the door.
That's right.
You friends of Dave's?
We've talked to him.
He's a nice fellow, old Dave. This is his house, you know.
Yeah, we know.
Nice place. Roof's tight. Good bar. He's a great friend, old Dave.
Mm-hmm. Come on, get up.
Yeah. How you fellas like to drink? You know, something to keep the chill out?
No, we don't want one. We think you've had enough, too.
Well, how about you, mister?
No.
Okay. But don't say I didn't try
Put the glass down, Madison. You don't have enough trouble answering our questions as it is.
Well, that's just where you're wrong.
Is that right?
Yeah. One thing everybody says about old Fred, he can handle his booze. You've never seen old Fred swinging.
Put that glass down.
Okay. I'd like to cooperate. Mind if I sit down?
Here, I'll help you. Sit right here.
All right. Old Dave ought to get some cushions for these benches.
Yeah, you want to start talking now?
Whenever you're ready.
What'd you do today?
All day?
That's right.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Where'd you go?
Took a little ride out to the track.
Races?
Yeah, took a little ride.
Did you go by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
I said, did you go to the races by yourself?
Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't.
Who'd you go with?
Friend of mine.
What's his name?
Well, you don't know him.
Give us his name.
Jason Homer.
Tell us what happened.
Well, nothing. We drove out there and saw the horses.
Did you make any bets?
No.
Then why'd you go?
I like horses.
You know that's not the reason. Now, come on.
Okay, I went out to collect some money.
From who?
Why are you asking all these questions?
Did you get the money?
Yeah.
What'd you do with it?
I don't think that's any of your business.
You do anything wrong with it?
No.
Well, then you don't mind telling us, do you?
Pay the bill.
To who?
Jason.
How much you owe him?
$100. Listen, I don't like all these questions. The way you guys came in here, I don't like it at all. I don't think I'm going to answer anything more for you.
I think you are. Now, where'd you go after you left the track? Come on, Madison.
Told you, drove out to the valley.
Halmer go with you?
Yes, he did.
Who drove?
Me. Jason has a sore shoulder.
All right.
We stopped at a bar, had a couple of drinks. Homer was feeling pretty good that he got paid.
How about Halmer? Did he have anything to drink?
Who?
Halmer.
Yeah, a couple.
What was the name of the bar?
What?
The bar. What's the name of it?
Well, I don't know.
You stopped at a place and you don't know the name of it?
That's the way it is. It doesn't matter what name's on the outside anyway, just what's on the bottles. That's what's important.
All right. What happened then?
Jason said he had to go home. He wanted me to call his wife and tell her he was on the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
What time was that?
Oh, I guess about 5:30, someplace in there.
Yeah.
Well, we sat around and had a couple more, and then he left.
You stayed on after Halmer left. Huh?
Yeah.
Who paid for the drinks?
Well, who do you think? Me.
How much money did you collect out of the track?
$100. Collected it and then paid Jason.
All right, let's see your wallet.
Why?
Come on, get it up. How much money have you got?
I don't know, not much.
Well, take a guess, will you?
$20, $30.
All right, open your wallet and count it.
Well, it might be better if you did.
I said you count it.
Okay, but don't get mad at me if I do it wrong.
We'll try not to.
All right. Let's see, there's 10, 20, 25, 26, 27. $27. That and the change I still got in my pocket. You want me to count that, too?
Never mind.
Well, I'll be glad to do it for you.
Let me see your wallet.
Well, certainly. Here you are.
You keep the money. Now, give me the wallet.
That wallet's a present from my wife.
Oh.
Real nice. That cordovan leather.
Yeah.
Not a stitch in it, all folded.
Okay, here. Put it back in your pocket.
Yeah, thank you.
Where'd you get the money, Madison?
From in my wallet.
Before that.
I had it.
Since when?
This morning.
That won't hold.
Why?
We got it that you were broke this morning.
Oh, I got it now. Now I have got it.
You have, huh?
You think I'm a thief, isn't that it?
We'll let you tell us.
No deal.
Huh?
I didn't steal it.
All right, then where'd you get it?
From my bank.
When'd you get it?
Tonight.
Well, you're going to have to do a little better than that, Madison.
Well, I don't know why. Be perfectly happy to prove it to you.
When you're ready, huh?
All right, I'll show you. Take you right out there. You think all the banks close at the same time, don't you?
Go ahead.
Well, you're wrong. Mine's always open. Of course, it don't pay any interest, but it's there and it's always open.
All right, let's go.
Sure. Take you right out there. It's out in Canoga Park.
You got a coat?
No, sir. Hey, how about a little drink before we go, huh? Kind of warm.
Put that down. I told you once. You've had enough of that.
Ain't that much. Hate to figure what would happen if I ever ran out. Hate to think about it. It'd be terrible to have to go without it.
Well, I'll tell you something.
What's that?
That bank of yours isn't there. You're going to get the chance. Because of Fred Madison's condition, it was difficult to know how much of the truth he was telling us. We went back to the car and started to drive toward Canoga Park. On the way, we stopped and put in a call to Mrs. Helmer. Her husband still hadn't returned. Madison directed us to drive to a ranch-type house on Kelvin Avenue. By the time we got there, it stopped raining. We parked the car and walked up to the house. There were no lights on and no answer when we rang the bell.
All right, Madison, you through playing games now?
Bank's out in the backyard.
What?
Backyard. There's a barbecue out there. Bank's a tin can near there.
All right, show us.
Sure. I used to live in this house.
That's so.
Yeah, always figured that someday I was going to need some money. One time I just went out and buried some. Figured there'd be a time when I was going to need it.
Yeah.
It's a tin can near the barbecue.
What time were you here today?
Well, I don't know. I don't have a watch.
Haven't got any idea, huh?
Sorry. That catch is kind of tricky. You got to pull it towards you. I always meant to fix that when we lived here.
All right, now where's the barbecue?
Well, one of you got a flashlight? Now, let me have it.
You tell us where you want it pointed.
Gee, you don't trust anybody.
Where's the barbecue?
It's over in the corner of the yard right near the fence.
Where, over here?
Now, swing the light over to the left.
All right.
There's nothing there.
Maybe I made a mistake. It's been a while since I've been here. It must be in the other corner of the yard.
Over here, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Take a good look. You're not doing so good tonight, are you, Madison?
Oh, I don't understand it. I saw it today.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the owner of the house.
Yeah, we'll check with him.
I sure don't understand it. Right in the corner of the yard near the fence.
Something you fellas are looking for?
Police officer, sir. We tried the door. There wasn't anybody home.
Can you tell me what this is all about?
You live here, do you?
That's right. What are you looking for?
You know anything about a barbecue pit in the backyard here?
Yeah, what?
You want to tell us where it is?
I tore it down 3 months ago.
We returned Fred Madison to the office for further interrogation. Frank and I attempted to talk to him without result. He said he couldn't remember where he'd gotten the money. He couldn't tell us where Jason Helmer was. We put in a call to the missing man's home, but he still hadn't returned. We rechecked the hospitals and the jails without result. 1:14 a.m. We were ready to give it up for the night. Frank went over to the office, and I got Madison ready to leave.
You going to take me to jail now?
You called it. Come on.
Joe.
Hold it up, Madison. What do you got?
A call just came in about Helmer's car.
Yeah.
They just found it.
While men from the business office took Madison over to the main jail for booking, Frank and I drove out to the valley again. Helmer's car had been found about a mile off Topanga Canyon Boulevard on Farview Road. It was back off the road and partially hidden by the trees. When we got there, a radio car was standing by. We talked to the officer.
Take a look at the back. Stuff on the ground there. I covered it with the boxes in case it started to rain again.
That's good.
These stains here on the ground, I don't know if they're going to mean anything.
You got anything we can use to open this trunk?
I'll check our car.
All right.
What do you think?
I don't know. Better get in touch with the crime lab, have them come out and go over the place.
Yeah.
Here. I got something.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Can you get it?
Put that light over here, will you?
Yeah. How's that?
That's better.
You need some help?
No, I got it here. Once more ought to do it now. Yeah, there we are. Let's get it open now. Thought maybe we'd be wrong.
Yeah.
Chalmers. We put in a call to the crime lab, and they came out and made an investigation of the scene. From what we could tell, Halmer had been killed by some sort of blunt instrument. His empty wallet was in the trunk beside the body. 6:48 a.m. We had Fred Madison brought from his cell.
I feel lousy. My head feels like it don't belong to me.
Why don't you tell us the truth?
You haven't told me what this is about. There's no reason why I should answer your questions if I don't know what you're trying to get
We
at.
told you. We want the truth.
All these questions over and over, the same things.
You can make it easy on yourself.
Well, how?
Come up with the right answers.
But I've told you.
Yeah, like the bar you went to called the I Don't Know, huh?
I'd tell you the name if I knew. I've been drinking pretty good.
I'll get it.
Right.
Yeah. Here, Joe.
Madison,
Yeah?
this is about your bank.
What do you mean?
This explains where you got the money.
What?
When you took the currency from Halmer's wallet, you left 3 perfect prints on one of the celluloid envelopes.
You mean something has happened to him?
You tell us.
Come on, you can drop the bluff. These prints are enough to indict you. You want to tell us?
He was going to send me to jail. I didn't get the money at the track. I tried to get him to give me some more time.
Yeah.
I was so righteous about it, said I had enough time. He was going to go to the police.
Mm-hmm.
I pleaded with him, but he wouldn't listen. It happened real quick. Maybe if I hadn't been drinking, it might not have been this way. I don't know.
Yeah.
When I started to think about the big trouble it was in, I figured it was all that kind of money.
Is that right?
There really was a guy at the track, you know. He was going to lend me the money to pay home.
Mm-hmm.
If he'd loaned me the money, it would have solved everything.
What was another way?
What do you mean?
That money you owed Halmer?
Yeah.
You could have worked for it.
Frederick Carson Madison was tried and convicted of murder in the first degree and received sentence as prescribed by law. On recommendation of the jury, he was sentenced to life imprisonment in the state penitentiary, San Quentin, California.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. In the past 5 weeks, an unidentified holdup man has robbed 12 drugstores. He's taken money and narcotics. There's no lead to who he is or where he is. Your job, find him.
It was Tuesday, March 16th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief Detective Thad Brown. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office, and it was 9:36 a.m. when we got to the corner of Hobart Boulevard and Westmoreland. Petitioner Drugstore.
In the back.
Yeah.
Something you want?
Yes, sir. We'd like to see Harry Tishner.
Yeah, I'm him.
Police officers. This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Oh, how you do, sir?
About the robbery, huh?
Would you like to tell us what happened?
I was robbed.
We'd just like you to tell us how.
Oh, now I'm with you. Yes, I'm right with you. Let's go back and sit down. Get to telling the story, and time just melts away.
Yes, sir.
Might as well be comfortable while we all fall out.
Yes, sir. This all right here?
Yeah. Like a phosphate or something?
No, sir.
No, thanks, sir.
Okay. And let's quit all this fooling around and get down to business. Want me to tell you about the holdup?
Yes, sir. We'd like that.
Good. That's just what I'm going to do.
Go ahead.
Aren't you going to take anything down, right?
Well, yes, sir, as soon as you tell us the story now, if you'd like to start in.
Well, came in about 8.
That was this morning?
Yes. Just walked right in the door, came back to the prescription counter, and stood there.
Mm-hmm.
Had this little piece of paper in his hand. I figured it was from a doctor, prescribed medicine.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't.
Well, go ahead. What was it?
Note. Written on there like this. This is a stick-up. Don't make any noise.
It was a note, huh?
Just pushed the note across the counter. I didn't have to have anybody push me off a cliff to know what was going on.
No, sir.
I was being robbed.
Yes, sir. Do you want to go ahead?
Well, after he showed me the note, he kind of pushed me back into the little room at the rear of the store. Kind of store place.
Now, did he say anything to you at all?
Not a word. Just pointed with that gun for me to get into the back room. I went.
I see. What happened then?
He pushed me down to the floor and then tied my hands and feet.
What did you use?
You mean to tie me up?
Yes, sir.
Rope.
Oh.
Well, did he bring it into the store with him?
No, sir. He picked it up in household on his way back to the prescription counter.
I see. Go ahead, please.
As soon as we got to the storeroom, he took off the label and then undid the rope. He made a loop and put it around my feet. Next thing I knew, I was all trussed up like a rolled roast, ready for the oven.
Yes, sir.
I'll say one thing for the guy, though.
What's that?
He's very neat. Tied good knots.
Yes, sir.
Other officers, the ones in the black and white car,
Yes, sir.
Them.
Yeah, what about him?
Oh, yeah. Well, they took the ropes with them. They said something about taking them to a laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can see if you want to. It's very neat.
Yes, sir. What happened after the bandit tied you up?
Robbed me.
You personally?
Yes, personally and otherwise.
So, sir, would you please tell us?
Well, first off, he went to the safe and took the tin box out. Opened her right up and took the money.
Is that all he stole from the cash box?
Yeah. I had some government bonds in there, but he didn't take those.
Uh-huh.
Guess he knew they wouldn't do him any good.
All right, sir.
He didn't take them. Took the money, but didn't take the government bonds.
According to what you told the officers this morning, the thief took a supply of narcotics, too. Is that correct?
Yes, he got them from the safe, too.
Well, now, after he finished with the safe, what happened?
He left. He walked out of the place. He just ambled right out.
During the time he was in the store, he didn't say anything at all. Is that right?
Did anybody else come in while he was here?
You mean like a customer?
Yes, sir.
No. Oh, excuse me.
That might be our office, Mr. Tishner. We left this number.
Okay. If it is, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
Tishner Drugs. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, Mrs. Kentworthy. Uh-huh. No, shouldn't be. Uh-huh. No, I can't do that. If you have your doctor call me, I'll make it up and send it over. Yeah. No, not without a prescription. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I'll call you when it's ready then, and you can send Lanny over. Right. Bye, Mrs. Kentworthy. Huh? Oh, well, if that's the way you feel, I won't. Oh, sure. Okay. Goodbye. Gee, I can't imagine why she'd say a thing like that. Just no reason at all.
Sir?
Mrs. Kentworthy told me when her son comes over to get the prescription not to give him any candy.
Oh, I see.
I usually throw in a licorice whip,
Mm-hmm.
Don't want me to do it. It's too bad.
Yes, sir. I wonder if we could go ahead with the description.
Sure, I guess so.
Well, now, from what you told the investigating officers, the man's about 35 to 38. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Light in color, 5 feet 10, 175 pounds, no visible marks or scars. Is that right?
Well, I guess that's pretty close.
Well, if there's anything different, we'd appreciate you telling us now.
No, not with you. Because I can't understand why Mrs. Cantwell would say a thing like that. Just a penny licorice whip. Little bitty thing.
Yes, sir, we understand.
Like that. Couldn't hurt anybody.
Yes, sir. Would you be able to identify the hold-up man if you saw him again?
Oh, yeah, no trouble. I'd know it.
Uh-huh.
He'd never say a thing like that.
Sir?
The fellow who robbed me.
What do you mean?
Oh, on the way out, the way I was laying, I saw him stop. Right up there by the Canyon magazine. Stopped dead in his tracks. He went over and helped himself.
Mm-hmm.
Took the top off and helped himself to a handful. Sure must like 'em.
What was that, sir?
Licorice whips. Just reached into the jar and took a handful.
After that, he left. Is that right?
Yeah. As soon as he put his gloves back on.
What was that?
Couldn't work the top of the jar with the gloves, so he took them off.
No.
Used his bare hands.
10:02 a.m. Frank put in a call to Harlan Stahl and Leighton Fingerprints. We asked him to come out and go over the glass candy jar. While we waited for him, Frank and I checked the list of stolen narcotics with the druggist, Harry Tishner. We also made arrangements for him to come downtown and look through the mug books. When the glass candy jar was checked, Harlan Stahl was able to come up with 2 partial prints. They were enough for comparison, but not for identification. 11:15 a.m. Frank and I left the store and spent the rest of the afternoon checking out the list of names we'd gotten from the stats office. Several of the possibles looked good, but after each one of them was investigated, we still didn't have a suspect in custody. Wednesday morning, March 17th, at 8:06 a.m., Frank and I met in the squad room.
Morning, Joe.
Hi.
Tried to call you this morning. Thought maybe you'd want to stop and have some breakfast.
No, I left the house early.
Uh-huh.
Did you check the book?
Yeah.
Anything?
Skipper wants to talk to us.
Oh, I figured that had happened. Is he in now?
Yeah.
Well, come on, let's get it over with.
Come in. Yeah, that's right. No, not yet. I'm going to try and line it up this afternoon. Yeah, I'll call you back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're here right now. Bye.
You want to see us, Captain?
Yeah, come in, sit down. Going in, I won't tell you who's on my back about this thing, and you don't give me any excuses, right?
Sure.
Where are you?
Still in front of the first store.
That's how long ago?
Yeah, it's been 5 weeks.
What do you know about him?
WMA, description, closed.
Match on all the jobs?
Close enough so we know it's the same guy.
Okay, what else?
He uses a stolen car to get to the store. He drives it away. Isn't too careful to hide the license plate. We've been able to come up with 3 out of the 5.
Check the cars out?
Yeah, clean. Not a print on them. Nothing else.
Picked up something yesterday. Should help when we nail him.
What's that?
Well, Stahl listed a couple of partials from a candy jar. That'll be enough for comparison.
Can't make the suspect on him, huh?
No, it's not enough to classify.
What about the narcotics he's taking? You show up anyplace?
No, not that we can find. We've been down all the alleys. There's nothing there. Talked to Lucarelli. Hop squad's got nothing on it.
If none of it's showing up, then it could mean he's using the stuff himself.
That's what we got figured.
How about the stats office?
If we spend much more time down there, they're going to put us to work with the machines.
Informants?
Well, they're giving us smiles. That's about all.
You think they're holding?
No.
Come over here. Take a look at the map. The way he's picking the places, he's set up a pretty definite operating schedule. Here, Venice Boulevard, Kingsley Drive, Western, Adams, Washington, the rest of them. They're all grouped in this area.
Yeah.
You got to figure he's going to keep working the vicinity until he hits them all. Then maybe he'll move on to something else.
Might help if we could come up with a reason that he's working there.
Anything you can come up with has got to help.
Yeah, we know.
If it's true that he's been using the narcotics himself, it's just a matter of time before we hand this one over to homicide. He's going to walk into a store, somebody's going to give him trouble. If he's on the needle, he isn't going to take it.
Yeah.
So it adds up to a big stop. The past.
Well, if we work the area, it's going to take a lot of men, you know.
We'll get him. I've talked to Stoner. He's taking care of all the help you need from here. There'll be 4 teams available. You can call Metro Division for whatever else you need.
All right, we'll set it up for tonight, then.
Check with communications. Make sure you got the 3 ways working.
Right.
This guy's been pressing his luck for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm bound to run short on it sometime. Robbery done, huh? Yeah. When? Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll take care of him. Looks like you just got partners.
What do you mean?
Your boy just made it 13. Drugstore out on Pico.
Yeah.
They don't expect the victim to live.
Frank Frank and I left the office and drove over to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. We talked with the officer on duty. He told us that the victim's name was George Rayler. He owned a small neighborhood drugstore at the corner of Pico Boulevard and Vineyard Avenue. He went on to say that he didn't have all of the particulars of the beating, but that it had occurred during the commission of a robbery. We talked to Dr. Sebastian. He told us that the elderly man was suffering from a fractured skull, broken ribs, and possible internal injuries. He added that from Rayler's appearance, it looked as if he'd been beaten about the head and shoulders with a heavy instrument and then kicked in the chest. We left word to call as soon as he could be questioned, then we drove over to the store on Pico.
Yes, there's something I can do for you?
Police officers.
Oh, how's Mr. Rayler? You seen him?
No, we haven't, Jess.
You heard anything? Is he going to be all right?
Well, we don't know that yet.
I sure hope so. Yeah, the guy who hit him sure did a job. Just beat him something awful.
Yeah, we know.
Not enough just hitting him, but then he knocked him down and stomped him. Awful.
You hear when it happened?
Yeah, I saw the whole thing.
You want to tell us what happened?
You mean for the investigation?
That's right.
Okay.
You want to give us your name first?
Calvin Webster.
You work here in the store, do you, son?
Yeah, that's right. Sort of a general left hand.
What was that?
Well, you see, Mrs. Rayler's his right hand. I'm the left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She wasn't here today and down having her hair fixed. Probably just as good.
All right, Webster. You want to tell us?
Well, fellow came in about 8:30, right after we opened. He came in and went back to the prescription counter. I was going back to tell him that Mr. Rayler would be right out, and then he was.
Rayler?
Yeah, he was back checking the stock on vitamin pills. We do a big business in them. I have to have a pretty careful watch on the supply. Wouldn't want to get caught short.
All right, go ahead.
Well, the fellow, the holdup man, you know.
Yeah, go ahead.
We took this little piece of paper out of his coat. I figured it was a prescription. Looked like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't. It turned out to be the note where he said he wanted the money.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the note?
Well, not so as I can read it. First, I knew there was something wrong when Mr. Rayler started to yell at the guy. Told him to get out of the store, ran around the counter and tried to grab him.
Mm-hmm.
Yelling all the time for me to call the police. Call the cops. Call the cops, like that he yelled at me.
What'd you do?
I looked to see if I had a dime.
What?
Well, you see, in the past, Mr. Rayler's had trouble with people making phone calls on a private phone, so he had one of those little lock things put on it. You can answer incoming calls, but you can't phone out.
I see.
So I needed a dime to call the cops.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have one. Only 75 cents for my lunch, a half and a quarter.
I see.
Well, all this time, Mr. Rayler's yelling. He's yelling, and the robber's hitting him. I didn't know what to do.
Uh-huh.
I thought about running back and trying to help, but Mr. Rayler don't like for nobody to do something different than what he says.
Yeah.
He told me to phone.
Yeah, sure.
Well, then all of a sudden, bang, the fella hit Mr. Rayler with a gun. Took it right out of his pocket and hit him on the head. Next thing, Mr. Rayler's on the floor, and this fella's stomping him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I couldn't just stand by no more, so I went back to help. Too late.
What was that?
Well, it was too late. Mr. Rayler was on the floor, and this guy was pointing the gun at me and was leaving the store. I didn't see how it'd help any to try and stop him.
Was there anybody else in the store at the time?
No, just Mr. Rayler and me. We just opened up. Still kind of getting ready for the day.
Did you get a good look at this guy?
Oh, yeah. I saw him good.
All right, then you'll be able to give us a description.
Yeah, I'll tell you how he looked.
Did you see if he drove a car?
I guess so.
But don't you know for sure?
Well, no, I didn't go out after him. I figured that it'd take somebody a lot bigger than me to stop him. Besides, I had to take care of Mr. Rayler.
I see. Did you see the gun he was using?
Yeah, I got a real good look at it when he was hitting the boss.
That's fine. What kind of a gun was it?
A pistol. You know, like you see in the movies.
Now, look, son, was it a revolver or an automatic?
I think it was a revolver. It had a barrel on it. Short. About that long?
Uh-huh.
We'd like you to come downtown and look at some pictures, if you would.
At the city hall?
That's right.
I'll be glad to help out as soon as Mrs. Rayler comes back. I'll go with you.
All right, fine.
I can't leave the store alone, you know.
Uh-huh. You want to give us the description of the man now?
You bet. Sure hope you catch the fella.
So do we.
This the same guy I've been reading about in the papers?
That's right.
He's mean. Real mean, doing a thing like that to Mr. Rayler.
Yeah, we know.
Been getting away with it for a long time, hasn't he? Just like a guy running up a big bill.
That's right. He'll pay it. As soon as someone arrived to take care of the drugstore, we took Calvin Webster down to the city hall. He was shown all of the mug books and pictures of recent parolees. He was unable to make an identification. We had him returned to his home, and then Frank and I checked with Dr. Sebastian over at Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. He told us that the latest victim had been transferred to the county hospital and was out of the critical stage. He went on to say, however, that it would be several hours before we'd be able to talk to him. We checked with Captain Donahoe and Lieutenant Stoner. We also contacted officers from Metropolitan Division and made arrangements for the additional cars that we'd need in setting up the rolling stakeout. That night at 7:30 p.m., the plan was put into operation. 10 undercover cars maintained a watch on the drugstores in the area. All suspicious vehicles were checked on. All pedestrians loitering in the vicinity were interrogated. Our suspect remained free. 3 days went by without result. The bandit had stopped his operations. On Sunday, March 21st, Frank and I were driving up Western Avenue just north of Pico.
What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe after he had that trouble with Railer, he decided to call it quits.
Doesn't figure.
Huh?
Guy that's had the breaks he has not going to let something like a beating stop him.
Well, hope you're right.
All units on frequency 1, stand by. All units on frequency 1, stand by.
That might be a good one.
Yeah.
Stand by 1J14. All units in the vicinity of 1947 Wilson Place. 1947 Wilson Place. An officer needs help. Code 3. All units in the vicinity of 1947 Wilson Place. An officer needs help. Code 3.
You got the lens?
Yeah, here you are.
Think it might be our boy?
We'll know in a minute. An officer needs help. Of all the calls in the book, this is the one that no officer wants to get. Not because of an outdone sense of loyalty to a fellow police officer, but because it means that somebody has decided that lawful authority has no meaning for them. Such a person is an extreme menace to every citizen in the city. By showing that they have no respect for the competence of an armed professional officer, they have also shown that they will not consider for an instant the life of an unarmed citizen. By the time we arrived at the scene, there were 14 police units in attendance. From one of the officers, we got the story.
Unit was working the street, saw this young guy run out of the liquor store, stopped to see what was going on.
Yeah?
Told the fellow to stop. Didn't make any difference.
Kept going, huh?
Yeah. Officer in the car told him to stop or he'd shoot, and the suspect turned around and fired at the policeman.
How is he?
Flesh wound.
What about the suspect?
Well, he didn't get the chance to fire more than twice.
That him over there?
Yeah.
Anything from the owner of the liquor store?
Well, just that the suspect tried to hold him up. He walked in, showed him a note. The owner went along with it. Handed over the money, and then the suspect left. That's it.
Better take a look.
Yeah.
Well, it might be a break.
It's a hard way to get it, isn't it? I'll take a look.
How about it?
I can't tell for sure.
Huh?
Description doesn't match too good.
Yeah?
No, I don't think it's our suspect.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
The wounded police officer was taken to George Street Receiving Hospital for treatment. The suspect was removed to the county morgue. Pictures were taken, and when they were shown to the victims of the drugstore bandit, they all said he was not the man we were after. The rolling stakeout continued without result. During the next week, we answered several 211 calls in drugstores, but the M.O. the thief used eliminated him as our suspect. Thursday, March 25th, Frank and I checked into the squad room.
How's it going, Joe?
We're kind of tired.
Yeah. We'll get this one wrapped up, and I'm going to try to take a few days off.
Okay. Robbery Friday. Yes, that's right. No, we're handling. But when was that? All right, would you like to give me that address? All right, yes, I have it. We'll check it out. Might be something in it. Thanks for letting us know. Right. What was that? No, if it turns out, we'll let you know. Right. Thanks again. Bye.
What do you got?
Call from a radio unit out in Hollywood.
Yeah.
They answered to 415 this morning. The woman and her husband were having a brawl.
Uh-huh.
The man had left when the officers got there. The woman refused to make a complaint.
She placed the original call?
No, it came from one of the neighbors.
Uh-huh.
When the officers were leaving, the woman said she'd handle the beef herself, said she'd take care of her husband, called him a lousy hold-up man.
Yeah.
She made the statement she could put him in San Quentin inside of 5 minutes.
Well, if he's the guy we're looking for, I don't think we can do it that fast.
No, we can sure try. We left the office and drove out to the address I'd gotten on the phone. It was a small one-story house set well back on the lot. When we got there, the lights were on. Frank and I went up the front door and rang the bell.
Yeah,
Miss Kearney?
that's right.
Police officers like to talk to you.
What about?
Might be better if we talked inside.
All right.
It's my partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
How you do?
Hi.
You alone here in the house?
Just the baby and me.
I see. Where's your husband?
Look, before I start telling you a lot, why don't you let me know what this is all about?
We got a report from a radio car that there was a disturbance here this morning. Is that right?
Wasn't anything. Me and Keith had a beef. Not even worth calling the cops about.
The officer said you made the remark that your husband was a hold-up man, that you could send him to prison. Is that right?
They talk a lot, don't they?
They listen more, lady.
You want to tell us what you meant?
Yeah?
Well, go ahead.
You go back and tell the little boys in the play suits they're wrong on this one.
Is that so?
Yeah, because I meant nothing. Nothing at all.
Pretty serious thing to say without reason, though, isn't it?
This morning I had a reason.
Why don't you want to tell us what it was?
I don't see why not. Your cops start nosing around. You'll find out anyway. I got trouble with my old man.
What kind of trouble?
He's out with other women. Didn't come home last night. We had a beef about it. The cops were called and they used their big ears. You guys made the trip out here for nothing. Now beat it. Now look what you've done. He's playing fine, and you come in here and raise a big stink. You got him all upset.
I'll get it. Hey, here you are, fella.
Hey, no reason to cry.
What's your husband's full name?
Keith J. Kearney.
How long you lived in Los Angeles?
A little over 6 weeks.
Where you from?
Idaho.
Your husband ever been in trouble with the police before?
Keith's got a hard time not being in trouble with anybody.
Has he ever been arrested?
I don't know.
How long you been married?
7 years.
And you don't know if he's ever been arrested?
No, I don't.
You got a picture of your husband?
You mean that you can have?
We'd like to take a look at it, yeah.
Oh, out of luck. I haven't got one.
Does he work?
Not if you can help it.
Doesn't hold a job of any kind, huh?
No, Keith's a professional avoider. He doesn't like anything steady. It's beginning to look like he means me, too.
What's he do with his time?
Nothing. Just lives it.
Is he here in the evening?
If he was, there wouldn't have been the beef this morning, and you wouldn't be asking a lot of questions. I don't know what you're trying to get me to say, but I can't go along with you. You got a problem with Keith, then talk to him. Leave me out of it.
I'll get it.
You know where your husband is now?
No.
You don't have any idea?
Not
huh?
the least.
There you are, little fella. Here's your keys.
Your husband drive a car?
Yeah.
What kind is it?
41 Plymouth.
When do you expect your husband back?
When he walks in the door.
All right, Miss Kearney, I think that'll do it. Sorry if we've caused you any trouble.
You have and you're not.
All right, let's go, Frank. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Better check on the husband, huh?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Get a good look at those keys that the baby was playing with.
No, why?
Plastic tag on them had a license number.
Yeah.
One of the stolen cars used in the drugstore holdup. Frank and I went back to the car and drove around the block, parking up the street from the Kearney residence. We called the name of the man and his wife into R&I, but there was no record on either one of them. Because of the remark made by his wife and the finding of the car keys, it was decided to stake out on the house and wait for the husband to return. 7:30 p.m., 8:30, 9 p.m. The lights in the house went out, but there was still no sign of Keith Kearney. 10:30. We called the office and told them we'd wait it out. 10:45 p.m.
Joe.
Yeah.
You see what kind it is?
Looks like a Plymouth. No.
Checks out, huh?
Yeah, let's take him.
All right, Kearney, hold it up. Watch it, Joe. Give it up, Kearney.
Keep away from me, cop.
He's trying to make his house.
Yeah.
Kearney, you're not going to make the front porch. Don't give your family any more trouble than they got. Now throw down that gun.
All right, let's give it back to him.
He's down, Joe.
Come on.
Kearney. Kearney.
Careful.
Come on, Kearney, throw that gun away. You hear me?
Looks like he's hurt bad.
All right, hold it.
Yeah. How about it?
He'll live. Call an ambulance.
Right.
You killed him? Did you kill him?
No, ma'am.
He's dead. You killed him.
He'll be all right.
Don't lie to me. Poor kid. You didn't give him a chance. Not fair. He didn't even have a chance.
You saw it all, lady.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a fair fight.
Never is when you pull a gun.
Keith Jarris Kearney was tried and convicted on 9 counts of robbery in the first degree and received sentence as prescribed by law. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 5 years.
Dragnet is a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned the burglary detail. A man walks into a pawn shop and wants to sell a ring. Indications are that the ring is stolen. Your job? Find out.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, June 17th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of burglary. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Bernard. My name is Friday. We were assisting another team in checking out pawn shops, and it was 9:27 a.m. when we got to 552 South Main Street. Pacific Loan Company.
Hi, Joe, Frank.
Herb, how you doing?
What is it, business or pleasure?
A little of both. Like check the Bible, can Herb?
Sure thing, I'll get it for you.
Where's your partner?
Took the day off, going to get some sunshine.
You picked a good day for it.
Yeah. Here you are, Joe.
Thank you. Herb, are these all the tickets for yesterday?
Yeah, it was kind of slow Monday.
Mm-hmm. You find anything? No, not what we want. Okay, thanks, Herb.
Oh, it's okay. You know, Joe, anytime we can help you fellas.
Yeah. Say, Joe, while we're here, I'd like to look at a guitar. What? It's not for me. You know me better than that. The only piece I know is it ain't gonna rain no more.
What's wrong with how dry I am?
It's funny. What do you got in a good guitar, Herb?
Well, come on down here. I'll show you some good buys.
One of my neighbors asked me to check if I had a chance. Wants to buy his kid one. Mm-hmm. What do you got?
Did he say how much you want to spend?
No, but I don't guess he wants to lay out too much. How about that one hanging up there, the one with the knobs on it?
Oh, that's an electric.
What's with the knob?
For volume.
Oh. How much?
You know, that one, I'll let you have for $30.
I don't think he'll go that much. You got something cheaper? The kid can make his own volume. That's nice looking, though, don't you think, Joe? Yeah.
Say, here's a good one in Spanish.
That the regular kind?
That's right.
How much is it?
$12.
Oh, that sounds more like his speed. Can I see it?
Sure thing. Yeah. It isn't tuned, but go ahead and strum it.
Uh-huh. But what should I be listening for?
Tone.
Oh.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, excuse me, fellas.
Sure, go ahead, Herb.
Something I can help you with, sir?
Yeah, maybe, I guess so.
How's it sound to you, Joe?
You want to step to the back?
I don't know. I'm with you. What do we listen for here?
What is it you
Tone, you know. Oh, yeah. This neighbor told me he was pretty lucky. How's that? Well, his kid's been watching those singing cowboys on TV, so now he wants to be one with a guitar. Mm-hmm. This guy next door says he's glad his kid hasn't got all wrapped up in space shows. Yeah. Says he couldn't afford a spaceship. Yeah. I don't guess there are too many second-hand spaceships for sale, are there?
Joe, I think he's trying to push your hot ring. I turn it down.
Let's go. Hey, you, fella, hold it up.
You mean me?
That's right, police officers.
What's the matter?
Let's go over to the doorway. Right over here.
Well, why?
Come on, move. All right, hands over your head. Come on.
Turn around. All right. He's clean.
See your identification.
Like what?
You got a driver's license?
Yeah.
Get it out.
All right. Here.
Take it out of the wallet.
Sure.
All right, give it to me. James Feder. This your true name?
Yeah.
You live at this address, 1201 South Grattan Street?
Yeah.
Right, here you are. What were you doing in that shop?
Oh, I didn't sell a ring.
Let's see it.
All right. Here.
The ring belong to you?
Yeah.
Want to wait here, Frank? I'll check Herb.
Right.
Herb, you want to come out here a minute?
Sure.
Let's take a look here. Got the man who tried to sell you the ring down there?
Yeah.
All right, now look at this. Is this the ring?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an emerald. Real good stone.
Why'd you turn it down?
Well, I thought there was something wrong, like I said.
Yeah.
Well, he wanted to sell it for $20.
Yeah.
Ring's worth close to $1,000.
We took James Feder to the office for questioning. Frank checked with R&I and found that he had a previous record. He'd been picked up on suspicion of burglary and had served one term for auto theft. The ring was examined and found to be genuine. Vedder maintained the ring belonged to him. After an hour of interrogation, he began to change his story.
All right, I didn't know what it was worth.
You mean the ring wasn't yours, then?
Yeah, if I'd known it was worth that much, I wouldn't have tried to sell it so cheap.
Well, where'd you get it?
I found it.
Where?
MacArthur Park.
When?
Last night. I go over there all the time in the evening.
Did you do anything about trying to find out who lost the ring?
Yeah, I checked in the papers and the lost and found. I guess I looked in all of them. I didn't see any ads, though, for a green ring.
Uh-huh.
Well, I looked at the ring real close. It didn't seem like a good stone, so I decided maybe it wasn't worth anything advertising.
No, but it was worth trying to sell, wasn't it?
Well, like I said, I ain't working. A few bucks would come in handy.
Yeah, sure.
You don't believe me, do you?
Well, you haven't given us much reason, have you? You started out lying. Why should we think different now?
Yeah, I guess I told you it was mine. I was afraid maybe you'd think I stole it. But I told you the truth now.
You have. Huh?
I can prove it. You take me out there. You take me to that park right now.
What'll that prove?
Well, I'll show you just where I picked it up.
Well, now, if we wait until Sunday, the trip won't be wasted, will it?
Huh?
We can listen to the band concert, too. We continued to question James Vedder, but we were unable to change his story. He was booked in on suspicion of violation of Section 459 PC and held for investigation. We made a check of his residence, his friends, and the places he was known to frequent. We could find nothing to hold him on. He came up on the overtime sheet, and he was released. The ring was booked as found property. Friday, June 20th.
Morning, Joe.
Hi. Did you check the book?
Yeah, nothing in.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, letter for you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Listen to this. You did me a favor. Now I'm going to do you one. Go to the Greyhound bus depot. Rental locker number 103.
Yeah, is that all?
Take a look at it. Here.
Typewritten, no greeting, no signature.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Let's check it out. Frank and I took the letter over to Leighton Prince, and then we drove over to 6th of Los Angeles Street, the Greyhound bus depot. We went to the office of Ralph Thomas, the regional manager. We told him about the letter, and in his company, we went to check on locker number 103.
Well, the locker's empty now. We'll have to see if anything's been removed from it recently. You want to come with me, gentlemen? We'll take the elevator to the basement.
All right, fine. Thank you
very much, sir.
How are the lockers checked, Mr. Thomas?
The 10 cents pays for 24 hours. All lockers are checked at midnight.
I see.
When the time limit's up, the articles are removed and a new lock's put on the locker.
I see.
Of course, as long as the fee's paid, we don't bother it.
Mm-hmm.
All the things removed are ticketed and held for 90 days.
I see.
See, we hold them here at the depot for 30 days and then remove them to a warehouse. You'd be surprised at how fast they accumulate.
Yes, sir.
Here we are.
You mean all these things here have been left in lockers? People checked them, didn't come back for them?
That's right. We get quite a variety of things.
You sure do.
Of course, not all of them are of much value. For instance, sometimes a person will go out, buy a new shirt, change it in the station, check the old one, and forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, Joe. That stuffed yellow poodle dog up there.
Yeah.
Over there, half a radio. That's not much good unless you know the guy with the other half. Huh? Flat iron. Sure, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, what about locker 103?
Well, let's see now. If there was anything taken from it, it should be right over here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's some nice-looking luggage. Don't see how a guy would forget something like that.
Here we are. Feels like a small box.
That's from number 103?
That's what the ticket says, see?
Uh-huh. Yeah. What about the date that this was removed?
Well, let's see. Midnight, June 17th. That was 3 days ago.
Yeah. It's okay if we open it?
Not at all. Here you are.
Here, give me the paper, Joe.
Yeah.
Looks like a Christmas card box, huh?
Yeah. Take a look, Frank.
Uh-huh.
What's in it, Sergeant Friday?
Jewelry. We signed a release form for the jewelry, and then we went back to the office. A check of pawn shop records was made, and we found that all the pieces had been reported stolen in a recent burglary. Leighton Prince had called to say no prints were found. The owner, Mrs. Carlton Hendricks, was notified, and she came down to the office. 11:07 a.m.
Are you Mr. Friday, the gentleman that I talked to on the phone?
Yes, ma'am. It's my partner, Frank Smith.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Smith?
How do you do?
Smith. Oh, that's a nice, uncomplicated name. If you don't mind my saying so, Mr. Smith, I think you look like a very competent officer.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you, Mr. Friday, you look, well, as though you might be more complicated, but very efficient.
Very nice of you, thank you.
You see, that's one of my hobbies, reading character from faces. My friends say that I'm most always right.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, when you called, I was so thrilled. You can understand what it means to recover possessions that you'd given up for lost.
Yes, ma'am. Would you like to check the pieces now?
Yes, you know, I had to call off a bridge party this afternoon, but then there'll be others, and this will be such an experience to tell them about.
Yes, ma'am. Now, if you'll just look at these pieces and tell us if they're yours.
Oh, all right, Mr. Friday, whenever you're ready.
Yes, ma'am. Well, this is the box they were found in here.
Well, it's a Christmas card box. How clever of them. I must remember that. You know, to tell my friends.
Yes, ma'am, you do that. Frank, would you hand me that newspaper, please?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I'll just spread these on the table here and you can see them better.
Oh, Maurice would just die if he saw this.
That's your husband?
Oh, gracious, no, I don't have one. I mean, at present. I'm divorced, you see, but we're still very good friends. I met Maurice, the jeweler.
Huh?
Just the way Mr. Friday spread my jewels on the newspaper. You see, when Maurice showed me these things, he had them all displayed on a wonderful piece of velvet.
Oh.
Then you recognize these pieces as being yours, Miss Hendricks?
Oh, yes. Well, there's my wedding ring and my gold charm bracelet. Have you looked at that close, gentlemen?
No, I missed it.
Oh, you should. Here, now, look. Now, you see, all those things have a special meaning. My husband gave them to me. The little stop-and-go light. Oh, that was silly. I was just learning to drive.
Yeah.
It was a good thing we had insurance. Oh, and this little wheelbarrow. The first time we went to the races and I won so much money, he said I'd need this to carry it in.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Well, then I guess we can report that the jewels have been identified by the owner, huh?
Oh, You see this little telephone, Mr. Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
It's got a number on it. But my husband didn't give me this.
He didn't?
No. It was all innocent enough, but poor Carlton. That's what my husband got furious. I even caught him with a magnifying glass one day trying to read the number, the dear jealous man.
Uh-huh.
Is everything out of the box, Mr. Friday?
Yes, ma'am. It's all right there in the paper. Why?
Well, I don't see my ring.
You mean this one right here?
No, that's not it. It was an emerald in platinum setting.
Well, when we checked the burglary report, I don't remember seeing any listing for that, Miss Hendricks.
Well, yes, I know. The time I made the report, I haven't missed it. These things were stolen from my jewelry box. I thought the emerald was in the safety deposit box.
I see. But why didn't you make a report when you discovered that it was gone?
Oh, well, it happened at a bad time. I'd made plans to go over to Reno for a vacation. You know what a lovely place that is. Well, I thought if the rest of the things were recovered, the ring would be too.
Well, nevertheless, you should have taken the time to report it, ma'am.
Oh, yes, I know. But at the time, I was more concerned with my plans for this trip. Have you ever been to Reno?
No, ma'am.
Oh, you should go sometime. It's really wonderful. I'm going back this winter for the winter sports. Do you gentlemen ski?
No, ma'am. No. Miss Hendricks, how much was your ring valued for?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I think Carson paid something like $1,000 for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, 3 days ago, we recovered an emerald ring that was supposed to have been found. It may possibly be yours.
There, you see. Nothing to worry about. I just knew when I saw you two men that everything was going to be all right. My friends are right. I can't read character.
Yes, ma'am. We'll have to go over to the property department to identify the ring, Miss Hendricks.
Oh, good. Good. That'll be another experience. I'm going to have to get in touch with Carson. I'll need another charm for my bracelet.
Yes, ma'am, you will.
And I know now just what I want. Something that symbolizes this occasion, and especially you two officers.
Uh-huh.
Can you guess what it'll be?
No, I can't. Can you, Frank?
No, Joe, I can't.
2 little gold bloodhounds.
We took Miss Hendricks over to the property department in the central jail. We signed out for the ring, and she identified it as being hers. All the jewelry was booked as evidence. We went to the district attorney's office and got a warrant for the arrest of James Feder. We got out a local and an APB on the suspect. Frank and I checked his residence. We were told the suspect had moved several days previously. The landlady had no forwarding address. She couldn't tell us about any visitors or any mail he'd received. She was unable to tell us if he drove a car. We rechecked his known associates and friends. Several leads were obtained, but none of them turned up anything. 5 days went by. Thursday, June 25th. Morning, Frank.
Hi, Joe. You been here long?
About 5 minutes.
I just couldn't hit the lights this morning. What's new?
Well, we got a call from auto theft.
Yeah.
They picked up a man early this morning trying to steal a car.
Somebody we want?
I think so. James Feder.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
Before Frank and I checked out of the office, we contacted auto theft detail and told them we wanted to talk to Feder. We drove over to the main jail. The suspect was brought to the interview room.
I heard you guys were looking for him.
That's right.
I could have come in, but I didn't think it was important.
So you do it the hard way, huh?
This is a bad beef.
I guess you figure them all that way, huh?
No, not always. You take a chance. You get caught, it's bad. But you ain't getting credit for something you didn't do.
That's so.
Yeah. What do you want to see me about?
You don't know, huh?
No, just that some of the boys said you were asking for me.
Thought maybe you'd like to tell us more about where you found that ring.
Oh, that again?
Yeah, that again.
You got my story. Now, what more do you want?
We got an alibi. Now we'd like the truth.
I found it.
Sure you did.
I don't know where I fit in, what you're trying to build, but I want no part of it.
It's not that simple.
All right, you tell me.
That ring wasn't lost. It was stolen, and you know it.
You figure I'm your pigeon, is that it?
Let's try it for size, huh?
Not this time. You can leave it with somebody else.
Might take a little time, but we're going to make you on it.
No, not from where I sit.
You'll need a better story than you got right now.
Well, not until you can prove I didn't find it.
We got the other stuff you took.
Oh, come on. Now you're really reaching.
No, I don't think so. You did us a favor, but that doesn't put us on your side.
Look, maybe you better fill me in.
We got your letter.
You did?
Yeah.
That's great. Now tell me what I said.
I'll do even better. Here, you read it.
This is the letter I wrote, huh?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I get it now. You found some stuff down at the Greyhound Depot.
You called it.
Well, I'll give you something else.
Yeah?
I didn't write that letter. I don't know who did, but it wasn't me.
The ring you had has been identified by the owner. A lot of other stuff we recovered.
Look, I'll tell you something. It's like I said, you take your chances, but I ain't going to front for this deal.
Yeah.
Looks like someone was trying to nail me in, but I don't want it. You said I did you a favor. I didn't, but I'm going to now.
All right, why don't you?
I got that ring from a girl I know.
What's her name?
Jill Mason.
Go ahead.
Well, I ran into her the other night. I told her I could use a couple of bucks. She's owed me $15 for a long time. She said she didn't have any cash, but she gave me the ring.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what it was worth. That's the truth. I don't think she did either. She's carrying a pretty fair package at the time.
Well, go ahead.
Well, she told me she got the ring from a boyfriend. That's all I knew about it.
Why'd you give us the story about the park?
Well, I figured maybe it'd keep her out of trouble. As long as you had the ring, I thought that was enough.
And what's this girl mean to you?
You mean how well do I know her?
Yeah.
I talked to her, that's all, but the only reason I give this to you is I don't want to pay somebody else's bill.
She ever done any big time?
I don't know. I never had any serious talks with her.
Want to tell us where she lives?
Yeah? You know, I don't understand that letter. Maybe you still think I wrote it, but I didn't.
We only got your word for that.
No. Doesn't make sense I'd send a letter if I'd taken the stuff and wanted to keep it.
You might have.
Why?
You made a lot of other mistakes. After further questioning, the suspect gave us a description of Jill Mason and her address. Frank and I went back to the office and checked her name through R&I, but we found no previous record for anybody answering her description. We drove over to 943 Wright Street, and we found the apartment house Feder had told us about. Jill Mason's name was listed on a mailbox near the front entrance. We went up to the third floor, apartment 316. We rang the bell, and the door was opened by a woman of about 35 years of age. Her face showed signs of having recently been bruised.
Yeah? What is it?
You Jill Mason?
That's right.
Police officers would like to talk to you.
Oh, well, I was just going to the beauty parlor. I'm late now.
We'd appreciate it if you can wait, ma'am.
All right.
All right, if we come in?
Guess so.
Thank you. You live alone here?
Yep.
All right, if we look around?
Go ahead.
Frank?
Yeah.
Look, what's this all about? I don't think I like it. That slob Whitey put you up to this?
Beg your pardon?
Whitey, the bartender up the One Stop. That chiseler make a fuss over the couple of 10-cent glasses I broke last night?
We haven't talked to him.
It's okay, Joe.
Wouldn't it surprise me if he had. Imagine him telling me I wasn't no lady. His shins are going to be sore for a couple of days.
Do you know a person named James Feder?
What's his last name?
Feder. F-E-D-E-R.
You say he knew me?
Can you tell us that, please?
You know him?
Yeah. Say, this going to take long?
To make a difference?
Yeah, I'd like to call and cancel my appointment.
All right.
Thanks. Hi, Helen. Joe Mason. I'm going to have to cancel my appointment. Okay, I'll call you. Yeah. I'm sorry, honey. Yeah. Goodbye. No sense keeping her waiting. I didn't have to ask you if you'd be here long. When it wasn't about last night, I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Mind if I sit down?
Go ahead.
I could lie to you, but if you talk to Feder, it'd only be wasted breath. I'm beat as it is, more than one way.
Did you give Feder a ring?
That's what kicked the whole business off.
Yeah?
You see my face? It doesn't look too bad now, but you should have seen it a week ago. If I'd had a gun, I think I'd have shot him.
Feder, you mean? Huh?
No, he didn't have anything to do with it. I mean Steve Remsen.
Who's he?
Guy that gave me the ring, the one I gave to Feder for the money I owed him. I was pretty stupid about it, but that wasn't any reason for me to take the beating.
When did this Remsen get the ring?
Did you get my letter? So I got even with him.
Did you know the ring was stolen when you gave it to Feder?
No, Steve just gave it to me. He didn't say anything about where he got it or how much it was worth. Nothing. Just before I saw Feder, I'd had a fight with Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little loaded. Feder asked me for the money. I gave him the ring.
Remsen told you it was stolen, did he?
Later, after he'd found out what I'd done with it, he got real sore. Said if Feder tried to pawn the ring, they'd find out about the other stuff.
Uh-huh.
Said he couldn't go back to the bus station for it. Cops might pick him up.
I see.
We were up here. He was drinking. Got madder all the time, and finally worked me over.
Mm-hmm.
But he got in touch with me after you let him go. Told me what had happened. I didn't let on that I knew about the ring, but that's when I figured how to get even with Steve. I mailed you the letter.
You know where Remsen is now?
No. He'll probably call today. I haven't seen him since he beat up on me, but he'll call. Trying to make up. I told him we were through. I can get him up here for you.
Do you know where he lives?
Not now. He's moved.
Can you give us the address?
Sure. But don't you believe me? I wouldn't lie to you, not after what he done to me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get even with him, that's all. I don't know why you don't buy it.
Well, maybe we will.
Yeah?
If he shows up. We called the office, and another team of men was sent out to check the address Joe Mason had given us for Steve Remsen. We had the name checked through R&I, but without result. Frank went out and moved the car away from the building in case Remsen might show up. We went back to the apartment and waited for him to call. 10 hours went by. She received several calls, but none of them from Remsen. Manuel Pena, one of the detectives checking Remsen's address, called and said that they'd found that he moved away on June 18th. He said they'd make a follow-up investigation. 11:30 p.m.
What if he doesn't call me?
He said he might, didn't he?
I know, but it's never at any particular time. I just said he'd been calling. Maybe he won't. What happens then?
We'll wait and see. Remember, hold it so we can hear it now.
I know. Hello? Oh, hi. I don't know if I can make it. Well, I know. I'd like to, but I'll have to call you. Uh-huh. Sure, honey. Thanks for calling. Bye. Girlfriend wanted me to go bowling tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
You heard what I told her. Guess it's better not to try to plan anything, huh?
Yeah.
It's the front door buzzer. Someone's calling from down below. Door's locked at 10.
All right, answer it and hold the receiver so we can hear.
You still don't trust me.
That's not the point.
Hello? It's him.
Get him up here.
What's that, Steve? Uh-huh. I know, honey. I guess I was wrong, too. Uh-huh. Come on up. Hurry, honey. There. That'll open the front door for him. He'll be right up.
Frank, you want to unlock this door?
Yeah.
You carry his gun?
I know he's got one.
All set?
Yeah.
Hiya, doll. Police officers, Remsen, get your hands up.
What's
Come
going
on,
on?
over your head. Hold it right there, Frank.
Yeah. What is this, Joe?
All right. He's clean. Get your hands behind your back. Come on.
You heard him. These are police officers. Honey.
Boy, you...
All right, hold it right there. Never
You and the cops. I should have finished what I started with you.
You tried.
You wouldn't have got your laylet if you'd used your head. We wouldn't be in this mess now. My fault for tying her with a knothead like you.
Oh, you...
All right, now stop it, both of you.
Sure, it's just that you guys never come close if it wasn't for this dumb broad.
You tell us.
Had it all worked out. Things were going just the way I planned.
All right?
Sure, I'd be sitting pretty except for her.
Yeah, sure you would.
Dumb broad, the biggest mistake she ever made.
No, there was one other.
What?
The first time she talked to you.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On October 5th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Steve Lynn Remsen was tried and convicted on one count of burglary in the second degree and received sentence as prescribed by law. Burglary in the second degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not more than 1 year in the county jail, or by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of not less than 1 nor more than 15 years. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.
To hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet, brought to you by Chesterfield. This is the best. Chesterfield. And the time to change today.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to burglary detail. You get a call to meet a fire inspector at a burned-out home. There's reason to believe the fire was started by a burglar. Your job, investigate.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, November 4th. It was cool in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of burglary detail. My partner is Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Bernard. My name is Friday. We were on our way out from the office. It was 9:12 p.m. when we got to 2607 West 50th Street, the scene of the fire.
No signs here. Just the fire must have been in the back of the house, huh?
Yeah, that's the way it looks.
Hiya, Joe.
All right, Tom. You know my partner, Frank, Inspector Strader from the fire department.
Sure.
Hello, Frank.
Been some time since we worked together, Joe.
Yeah, over a year, isn't it?
Yeah, about that.
Oh, what do you got for us this time, Inspector?
Easier to show you. Come on back.
All right.
Most of the damage is in the bedroom. Started in the closet.
Yeah.
Did burn through the next room, though. Little girl's bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Burned bad, huh?
Could have been a lot worse. Neighbor saw the flame through the window. Must have seen it right away. She called us and the engine company got it out before the whole house was gutted.
Mm-hmm. The place locked when they got here?
Yeah, had to break through the back door to gain entrance.
All right, now where do we fit in?
Well, we're pretty certain the fire was started deliberately.
Oh.
While I was checking, I noticed the window had been tampered with. Come here, I'll show you what I mean. See the lock?
Yeah. Looks like it was forced, doesn't it? See here? Screws are pulled right out of the frame.
Yeah.
Glass is cracked, too. Yeah. Any chance your boys might have done this?
No, I checked that angle. The only place they tried is the back door.
Uh-huh. Was the window open when you first saw it, Tom?
Yeah, just like it is now. Raised about an inch.
Frank?
Yeah.
See these marks here on the sill?
Uh-huh. Probably made when the window was forced, huh?
Better get the lab out here, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I'll get him.
Phone to the front room near the table.
Thanks, Inspector.
You been able to contact the owner, Tom?
Yeah, lived with his wife and little girl. Got here just about the time they had the fire out. Took her wife and kid over to her sister's place for the night.
Well, did he know if anything had been stolen?
Didn't ask before he left. He said he'd come back as soon as he could.
Well, you got any ideas?
Well, I'm sure the fire was set. Might be insurance. Maybe a pyromaniac. Thief trying to cover something.
I'm at the task. This is my partner, Sergeant Friday.
I do, Sergeant.
Oh, yes, sir. And you met Inspector Strader.
Yes, sir. How are you? Hi. Got back as soon as I could. The wife and daughter pretty upset. We understand, Mr. Taft. She didn't think about it tonight, but she will tomorrow, and then I'll be in for it.
How's that, sir?
About the insurance.
What about the insurance?
Well, I don't have any. I can hear her now. She'll be up one side and down the other.
You don't have any fire insurance on the house at all, huh?
That's right. How about personal property? No, the wife's been asking me to take some out. Maybe I would have, but she wanted me to get it from her brother-in-law. Maybe I would have, but you never saw such a one-way guy, always looking to feather his own nest. You know the kind.
Yeah.
Like I was painting the kid's room, you know. Think he'd give me a hand? You bet he didn't. So what happens? They got no insurance.
Now, Mr. Taft, we'd like you to do something for us if you would.
Sure thing, as long as it doesn't cost me. It's going to put me in the hole, but good. What is it?
Would you check around and see if any personal items are missing here?
You mean stolen?
Yes, sir, that's right.
Do you think someone broke in and stole something and set the fire?
No, we're not sure yet. We want you to help us.
Oh, boy, that's all I need. A fire with no insurance and rob with no insurance. My wife's brother-in-law won't ever get off my back, and my wife.
Mm-hmm. Would you check for us, sir?
Yeah, sure thing.
Thank you.
How much in here to take something? Wife's yours. And what she had was in this here box.
Well, you wouldn't touch it, though.
What's that?
I'll open it if you don't mind.
Well, it's empty. Everything's gone.
Was it pretty expensive?
Well, it didn't cost much, if that's what you mean.
Uh-huh.
Mostly costume jewelry. Her watch was in here, though. She forgot it tonight. Went over to the Crenshaw district window shopping, and I remember her mentioning she left it here.
Do you think anything else is missing in here?
I don't think so, unless maybe my wife's clothes in the closet. And the way that looks, I don't guess you could tell much.
What do you think, Tom?
Well, I can give it a preliminary check while you're going through the rest of the house and let you know.
All right, fine. Want to check the rest of the place for us, Mr. Taft?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right.
Boy, what a night. If a guy wanted to steal something, he'd pick a place that had stuff worth lifting. There's the kids' room. Oh, look at the mess in here. I just finished painting it last week.
Yeah.
Look at it. Dolls, books all burned. Poor kid saw that tonight, just cried her eyes out. I don't know. Guy that did this must have had a head full of rocks.
Yeah.
Christmas ain't far off. I don't know how, but I'll see to it she gets dolls and books. Nice ones. Better than these were.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't anything in there he'd take. Now let's check the kitchen. Well, right off I can see he made us for the radio. That little portable on the shelf right over there. Wife likes to listen to those daytime programs while she's working. Something more to plan for Christmas.
Wonder if you have the serial number on the radio by any chance.
Never paid any attention to things like that. Anyway, I got a second hand. It wasn't worth much. It played good, though.
I'll take a good look. You notice anything else, Dog?
Not right offhand. Say, fellas, how about a beer? Unless that's stolen, too.
No, thank you.
Well, that really does it.
What's that?
This ties it off good. He stole a ham.
What?
A ham weighed 12 pounds and saving it for Thanksgiving. There goes a big dinner my wife planned.
Well, I guess it's all right if you can laugh about it, huh?
I was just thinking, maybe I'll have the last laugh at my wife's brother.
What's that?
He was coming to dinner.
Further examination of the kitchen showed that about 20 cans of food had been taken. Angus Taft looked through the rest of the house, but he said he didn't think anything else was missing. Inspector Tom Strader said he was fairly sure there were no clothes in the closet when it burned. Men from the crime lab came out and took pictures of the window and also of the place of origin of the fire. A detail from Leighton Prince checked the house. Frank and I questioned people in the neighborhood, but none of them had seen or heard anyone around the Taft house before the fire started. Inspector Strader said he would notify our office of all similar house fires. The next night, we got a report from Leighton Prince. They said the prints they'd lifted from the Taft home belonged to members of the family. Ray Pinker sent word over from the crime lab that the marks on the windowsill had been made by a half-inch pry bar. On November 10th, we got another call from Inspector Strader, and we went out to 2725 West 49th Street. By 10:26 p.m., we had completed our inspection of the burned interior of the house, and we talked to the owner.
That was pretty much like the last one. Looks like more damage this time, though.
Yeah, it's on a report different fire started in this house.
Same entry, bedroom window. Stolen articles just about the same, huh?
I don't get that part.
How's that, Frank?
The stuff is stolen. Not much value to it. Costume jewelry, clothes, food, portable radio. You'd think anyone that goes out on a limb like this would try to make it worth his while. Nothing much we can check the usual sources for.
One thing that might help us we don't have.
What's that, Joe?
Serial numbers. You know, if people could just give us the numbers on their radios, other stolen property, we'd have something definite to look for. I know it's a lot to ask, but if they could just do that.
Inspector, what do you estimate the fire loss to be here?
$2,000. I hope your crime lab or Leighton Prince can come up with a lead to give you fellows something concrete to work with.
With you there, Tom.
What do you think, Joe? Same person?
Well, it might be too early to say, but the fires are in the same neighborhood. Similar M.O. Chances are fair that it's the same one, yeah.
Keeps up. Somebody's liable to get hurt.
We haven't got too much to go on. Well, we got a place to start. We know he's got some matches. Frank and I questioned the neighbors, but we failed to get any useful information. Leighton Prince were unable to come up with anything. The crime lab reported the window had been forced by a 1/2-inch pry bar. Within the next 3 weeks, despite our efforts, 6 more fires and burglaries occurred. In each case, the same M.O. was used. We had sent teletypes to CII and all points requesting information on any person who had used the same M.O. The staff's office had made a run. Known arsonists were checked. Pawn shops and second-hand stores were notified, but we still had no definite lead as to the identity of the arsonist burglar. We started a pin map to see if a directional trend would develop. 8:57 p.m., Wednesday, December 2nd. We were checking the map with Sergeant Rex Olson.
Anything new, Joe?
Well, we've got a few burglaries further west, up in here, but no fires.
How about the M.O.?
Same. Bedroom window entry, same type article stolen.
You know, this operator's really a wig. Take a look at this list of items that have been taken.
Dog food, baby clothes, golf balls, tennis balls, camping equipment, and a phonograph. That's quite an assortment.
Tennis balls were initialed, I think, by the owner. He said he could identify him. Details have been checking playgrounds for him.
I guess you pretty well covered every angle then.
Yeah, extra men from Metro and the fire department have been on stakeouts in areas where fires have occurred. They've run down a lot of leads, but we haven't come up with anything to date.
How about Prince?
No, haven't been able to give us any positives.
I guess they're switching M.O. Something to be thankful for, then.
Yeah, but the guy is still out breathing the same air as we do.
Yeah. I know it bothers you, but you're doing your best. You can't ask for more.
If you talk to some of these families that have been burned out, and you sure wish you could.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
The guy isn't satisfied setting one fire in a house. He set as many as 6 in one place. Look at those red pins.
I'll do it. Burglary, Olson. What's that address? 1904 West 50th Street. Right. Yeah, they're with me now. Yeah.
Burglary. Here's the address. Right. Anything else? Yeah, another red pen. We drove out to the address on 50th Street. Like the other homes hit by the arsonist burglar, it was a small one-story house. Inspector Strader showed us where 5 fires had been started. The main damage was in the rear of the building. Entry had been made through a bedroom window. We called the crime lab and laid in print. The owner, a Mr. Clinton Bates, arrived and checked for missing property. 10:27 p.m. We came to the living room.
Well, right offhand, I'd say nothing was missing in here.
Yes, sir, it's possible he just didn't take anything from this room.
Why do you say that, Sergeant?
Well, no fire was started in here. Now, we found in other homes the burglar usually starts a fire in a room where he takes something.
I see.
Mr. Bates.
Yeah?
This bottle of perfume that's missing, you said it was initials?
That's right. I gave it to my wife for her birthday. It was monogrammed LCB in gold letters. It wasn't real expensive.
Mm-hmm. LCB.
In fact, nothing that was taken was of too much value. Why should a person go to the trouble of breaking a house to steal comic books? It doesn't make sense.
And now you said your daughter's name was written on the book.
Yeah, my wife always writes her name Carol on them. You know how kids trade them back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter takes after her mother, never wants to throw anything away. Must have had over 100 comic books.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there's a lot of junk I wish he had taken. And just left the house the way it was without starting a fire.
Okay, we understand. Now about the coins that were taken.
Yeah?
This is the first time that any money's been stolen.
But what did he take? About $2 worth of coins. Not much to help you there, is there?
Yes, as it might be. They're American coins that can be spent. Now, the fact that they're old may give us a lead if somebody tries to spend them.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a long shot, isn't it?
Yes, sir, maybe. But this person hasn't given us much choice. Now, do you think you could give us the dates on the coins?
Well, I can't, but my wife may be able to. They belong to her. Like I told you, she never gets rid of anything.
Mm-hmm.
She got them from an aunt a couple, 3 weeks ago. I told her that since they were old, they might be worth more than just the regular value.
Yes, sir.
So she took them to some shop, you know, where they handle old money. Man there told her they weren't in demand, only worth a nickel, dime, whatever it was. I needed change for cigarettes one day, but she wouldn't give them to me. Anything else she hangs on to. Well, you see the junk around here.
Mm-hmm. You think you can get those dates for us?
I'll try, but like I said, if the person that did this had just forgot about the fire part and carted off some of the other junk, he'd have been doing me a big favor.
Yes, sir, but they don't have that in mind.
What do you mean?
To help anybody. We got the description and the dates of the coins from Mrs. Bates. All officers were given the information. From our pin map, we figured our suspect might live near Cimarron Street and Vernon Avenue. We spent several days contacting all the businesses in that vicinity and gave each owner a complete description of the coins. We asked them to get the license number or address of any person that might pass them and to call us right away. In the meantime, Leighton Prince sent word from the window ledge at the home of the last burglary and fire that they had lifted several clean prints. 5 days went by. Monday, December 7th. The store owner called us regarding the coins. Frank and I drove out to the corner of Cimarron Street and 43rd Place, a small neighborhood variety store.
Honey, can I help you?
Police officer.
Are you out?
Yes, ma'am. We went to see you the other day.
Oh, well, just a moment till I get my glasses on. They trying a new glass cleaner on them just before you came in. I don't see much without them anymore. There. Oh, Siri, now I remember you. You came in about the old money.
Yes, ma'am, that's right. We got your call.
Well, it's a good thing I had my glasses on about an hour ago.
What do you mean, ma'am?
When I got those coins. Otherwise, maybe I wouldn't have noticed.
Then you took in some money answering the description we gave you, did you?
First customer this morning, I guess maybe that's why I took particular notice.
Mm-hmm.
I called the number on the card you gave me right away.
It was very cooperative of you, ma'am.
Only doing my duty as I see it. You men are trying to uphold the law, and as a citizen, I feel it's my job to help you. Any way I can.
Yes, ma'am. Now, I wonder if we might see the coins?
Okie dokie, I'll get them for you.
Thank you.
When I saw that they were that old money, like you told me about, I didn't put them in the register. Oh, no. I popped them into this jelly box I keep pins in, see?
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'd better dump them out on the too.
All right, fine.
I didn't want you to prick your fingers. It's easy to get blood poisoning.
Mm-hmm. You got that list, Frank? Yes. Thank you. Here you are.
Are those the ones you're looking for?
Just a minute here. Let me check. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, how wonderful. Well, that gives me a real fine feeling, like I've done a good deed for the day.
Well, you have, ma'am. Now maybe you can help us even more and tell us about the person that gave you these.
Okie dokie. I can. But there's something I don't quite understand.
What's that, ma'am?
I thought you policemen are generally looking for real bad men.
No, not always.
That's what seems wrong. The person I got these from couldn't be the one you want.
Why do you say that?
It was a little girl, about 9 years old.
Evelyn Cooley, the owner, told us that when the little girl had left, she'd followed her to a house about 3 blocks away. We gave her a receipt for the coins and drove over to 2216 West 43rd Place, the address she'd given us. Frank drove past the house slowly, and we saw a 1940 Plymouth sedan parked in the driveway. On the second trip, I got the license number of the vehicle. We called the office, and they sent out another team to stake out the place. We went back to the office and called DMV. They gave us the name Lyndon Granger as the legal owner. We checked the name through R&I and found that he had 5 arrests for burglary as a juvenile. We called Leighton Prince and asked them to check the fingerprints found at the house on 50th Street. 10:37 a.m.
When are they going to call?
As soon as they have time to check them thoroughly, I guess.
I was just thinking, Joe, what happens if Granger isn't our boy?
Well, I think it's kind of easy to figure, don't you?
Huh?
Sure. Find out where the girl got the coins.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. You know what that could mean?
Mm-hmm.
More footwork. I'm telling you, Joe, I haven't put on so many miles since I worked traffic.
You don't have to tell me.
What do you mean?
All these miles you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I was with you, remember?
Yeah. I know, Joe, but after all, I'm carrying a few more pounds than you are.
That is correct.
It makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is when you go deer hunting?
No, Sir Frank, I don't. I never go.
Well, when you're carrying a rifle.
Never carry one.
Well, when you go deer hunting and you do carry a rifle, you start out in the morning, the rifle doesn't weigh much at all.
It doesn't, huh?
No, at least it doesn't feel so heavy, but along toward the end of the day, man, those few pounds feel like 20.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is with the extra pounds I carry around.
Mm-hmm. Burglary Friday. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I see. On 2 of them. Good. Right. Thank you.
Clayton Prince?
Yeah. Granger's Prince.
Uh-huh.
They made him on the last job. The fact that Granger's Prince tied him in with the last fire burglary was enough to get a complaint, but we wanted an airtight case. We decided to follow the suspect that night. Another team was set out to relieve the stakeout on his home. When Granger left the house at 8:09 p.m., Frank and I were behind him. The other team remained at the house. We followed him for about an hour. 9:13 p.m.
Oh, yeah, Joe.
Stick with him.
All right.
We better take him away from home before he and his wife can get together on a story, huh?
Yeah.
He's slowing down.
I'll pull over. Stop. Can you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like another twist in his operation. Stealing from that car.
Yeah.
What did he take? Could you see?
A blanket or a robe of some kind. Come on, let's get him.
All right.
All right, Granger. Don't put it in gear, police officer. Making a run for it. Right.
He's going to hit that car.
Come on. Right out of the car, Granger. Come on, move. Come on.
What?
Come on, get out. Fast. Hands over your head. Right there. Keep your hands up.
All right. Did you say police officers?
Yeah.
Right. Get your hands behind your back now. Oh, I didn't hear you too good. I wouldn't have taken off if I'd known you was cops. That's the truth. If I was you, I'd believe that.
Is that so?
Well, I'm just going to feel terrible if you guys don't believe me.
Well, now, that's too bad.
Huh?
We don't. We questioned Granger, but he refused to admit any knowledge of the burglaries or the fires. We met the other team on stakeout, and they took him into custody while we went in to talk to his wife. We identified ourselves, and she told us to come in.
Shut up, Fortune. Be quiet. Don't worry about him. He won't bite. Dog's no good for anything except to eat and sleep. Oh, I didn't take him with him tonight.
What's that, ma'am?
My husband goes out just about every night and takes the dog with him. Not tonight. Under my feet every minute.
Is anybody else in this house besides you?
Huh?
Are you alone here?
Yeah, except for that mutt. Why?
Well, you don't mind if we look around, do you?
Don't you believe me?
Yes, yes.
You have to. I ain't hiding nobody. Go ahead.
I'll take it, Come in. You want to sit down, Miss Granger?
Why? You gonna be here first, go?
A few things we have to ask you.
Shut up, Fortune. What do you want to ask?
What kind of work does your husband do?
He's a window washer.
Well, who's his employer?
Nobody.
Well, does he work for a business concern of any kind?
You mean like a store?
That's right.
Yeah, but he washes windows for people, too. You know, houses.
Mm-hmm.
Joe?
Yeah.
Found this on the dresser in the bedroom.
Hey, what are you doing with my perfume?
This belonged to you?
You took it out of my room, didn't you?
Where'd you get it?
My husband?
Could he say where he got it?
Yeah, all night market.
How about these initials here? LCB.
Well, sure, that's why I got the chief. He said they were closing them out.
Your husband goes out every night, doesn't he?
Yeah?
Has he brought other things home from this same market?
Why you ask?
Just tell us, has he?
Yeah. What? Something wrong? Did he do something?
What other things did he bring home?
I don't think I'll tell you.
Oh, that's up to you, Miss Granger. It would be a lot better for you if he told us the truth.
About what?
Things your husband has brought home.
I thought there was something wrong, but he said he got him at a market.
Mm-hmm.
Did he steal him?
We think he did, yeah.
Makes sense.
Seems to, don't it?
I was thinking of the perfume. I thought it's funny he'd spend money like that. He doesn't think that much of me.
What's that?
He thinks more of that dog than he does of me. Gave me the perfume, and the next day he put most of it on Fortune.
How's that?
The dog. He put most of the perfume on the dog. He got close and still smell it. Look at that collar. Pretty, isn't it? All jewels. Bet he didn't steal that. Not for his dog.
What else did he bring home?
Food, clothes, magazines, all kinds of things.
Where are they?
Food we ate. Other stuff, I don't know for sure. Some of it's in the garage.
You want to show us?
All right. We can go out the front door. It's closed.
All right. Do you have any children, Miss Granger?
No.
Pretty dark. Get my flashlight. You know if your husband's had any old coins recently?
Yeah. Gave them to me. Pennies, a couple of dimes, a quarter. I remember because it's the only money he's given me in a long time. You steal them, too?
Looks like it.
There's a key on the left side of the door. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, I'll get it. You still have those coins?
No, I sent the neighbor girl to the store for me today. That was the only money I had. She sent them. Lights on the left side.
Right. Comic books. What was that name, Joe? Harold. Yeah, text right down the line. This camping equipment. Is this something you got at that market, too?
Yeah, I guess so. You never bought any I can remember. Wouldn't be any reason. He'd never take me camping.
Do you know what's in this box?
No.
You know where the key is for the lock?
No. Guess you'd have him.
Let me give you that hammer. Yeah.
You gonna break the lock?
Yeah. Here you are. Clock, watches, costume, jewelry. Tennis ball, a couple old coins, $50.
You mean my husband stole all these things?
Yeah, it seems so, Miss Granger, but that's not the worst of it.
Oh, no.
In several of the homes, we think he set fires.
That mean I'm guilty, too?
No, ma'am, not necessarily. Not if you didn't know about it.
I didn't know. He never told me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about him when it's up to me.
Mm-hmm.
You come in here and say my husband's a thief. Hearing it like this, that's not easy to take.
Well, there's one other thing, Miss Granger.
What?
Not easy to say. The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On March 9th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Lyndon Frederick Granger was tried and convicted of burglary in the first degree, 5 counts, and of arson, 4 counts. He received sentence as prescribed by law. Burglary in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of not less than 5 years. Arson is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 2 to 20 years in the state penitentiary. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Frazier. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Walter Sandy, Jack Crucian, Virginia Gray. Script by John Robinson, Earl Slade. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. An elderly man is threatening an entire neighborhood with a shotgun. He says he's going to use it to kill a man. Your job, take it away from him.
It was Tuesday, June 15th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of homicide detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Lorman. My name's Friday. We're on our way out from the office. It was 11:46 a.m. when we got to Unit 1F14. The police car standing by.
Hi, Joe.
Lloyd, what do you got?
Take a look at the sign. Yeah. I will not live in the same neighborhood with a dog poisoner. Looks like he painted it himself.
And there's we can figure he did.
How'd you get the complaint?
Came in, see the man. When we got here, the guy was sitting up there with his shotgun. Told us to leave him alone. We figured maybe you'd be a little better equipped to handle it.
Well, it might not work out that way, but we'll give it a try.
Anything we can do to help out?
Just be here.
Right.
You make a move for a gun, and I'll have to kill you.
Want to tell us why you're doing this?
My business.
Well, that gun makes it ours.
You think that if you want to, it doesn't make any difference to me. I didn't ask you out here.
Yeah, well, now that we made the trip, don't you figure you ought to tell us?
No.
Something to do with that sign?
Might have, yeah.
Well, you better tell us about it.
I don't see how it's going to help.
You won't know unless you try, will you?
All right. I'll tell you what. You come up here on the porch. We'll talk. Take it slow. Don't try to be smart. I can hit both of you with one shot from here.
Yeah?
Might not kill you, but it'd make you pretty sick. That's good. Hold it right there. Now, just stand still.
All right, you want to tell us what this is all about?
My dog. Had her 14 years, and somebody killed her.
Well, that's not much of a reason to sit out here and threaten everybody who walks by your house, is it?
It is for me.
Why?
But I know that they'll show up.
Who will show up?
Whoever done it. They'll walk down the street, and when they do, I'm going to get them.
Now, you know we're not going to let you do that.
I don't see that there's much you can do to stop me.
If you know who killed your dog, why don't you come downtown and make a complaint like you should?
Evidence.
What's that?
Gotta have evidence.
Yeah, well, you must have a lot of it to be ready to kill a man.
Now, we'll see.
Who do you think poisoned your dog?
I don't know, but he'll be by.
Anybody else live in that house with you?
No.
There's nobody inside, huh?
I told you there ain't nobody. Used to be Queenie, but not now. This is a picture of her. Beautiful.
I'm going to tell you something, old-timer.
What?
You can sit there and think you got this thing under control, but you haven't.
Is that right?
Yes, sir?
Maybe you better take another look. I've got the gun.
Yeah, well, it might be that way. But there's 100 more that are going to keep you from committing a murder out here.
That's a hard word to use, isn't it?
No, because that's what you're figuring to do, isn't it?
How do you think you're going to stop me?
You bring that gun up into firing position, and I'll show you how I'm going to stop you.
All I'm trying to do is to pay back something. I don't want to hurt anybody else.
Look, mister, why don't you tell us who you think poisoned your dog and why? We might be able to do something for you.
Because I don't think it'd help.
Well, why don't you give it a try?
He was poisoned. I saw her come home. I saw her crawl right up that walk on her stomach, dragging her hind legs.
Yeah?
Oh, you wouldn't understand what she meant to me. She was like a person. Someone to talk to. She was a lot of company. This book here, written by a man who knew. He understood.
Yeah, well, all that may be fine, but you got no right to sit out here with that shotgun.
This man knew about dogs. Art McIntyre.
Who's that, sir?
Old McIntyre? I want you to listen. This will explain just what I'm doing here. Hold it. Hold it right there. I'll drop this book and kill you. Now, I want you to listen to this. I want you to listen carefully. Brothers and sisters, I bid you beware of giving your heart to a dog to tear. So wrote Kipling in an excellent elegiac. I happen to be a dog lover who does not believe in that warning. 8 of the happiest years of my life was spent in the almost constant companionship of a devoted dog. When he was taken from me, cruelly but with merciful swiftness, It was a terrific heart wrench. For 2 days, I grieved inconsolably. For weeks, I walked the streets at night, trying to get hold of myself. Yet now, when time has dulled the pain, I can truthfully say that the joy and understanding my dog brought into my life more than compensated for the sorrow of his passing. For my dog taught me many things, as enduring as the ages. Outside of the divine relationship and the human, I know of no influence so ennobling as our relationship with the dog. My dog's name was Junior. He was a Boston Bulldog, weighing 24 pounds, with a blazing muzzle, white collar, and feet tipped with white. His coat was the glossy brown of an autumn leaf. He had a lovable lopped ear that perked with quizzical abandon. He was full of joyous life and never outgrew his practices. I picked him up in a Fifth Avenue dog shop in much the same manner that one buys a trinket. I thought he was cute-looking. He was then 4 weeks old and trotted sideways with mock seriousness. I took him home in my overcoat pocket. From that day on, for 8 years, he played a big part in my life. He came to understand me better than most of my human associates did. He knew his time for play and my time for work. He did not trespass. His only illness displayed the heroic courage that characterized him until his death. One evening, his mistress and I came home after the theater, and when we opened the door, we missed his welcoming rush and bark. We found him lying on the floor of the bathroom in a pool of blood. When I bent over him, there was a feeble thump of his tail, as much as to say, "Don't worry." His eyes were glazing, and I knew that he was in a desperate state. We worked over him several hours, and finally, in a wobbly manner, he stood up, walked unsteadily to the bedroom, and picked up his play ball, as if to say, "You see, I'm all right." In a half hour, he had another hemorrhage. With uncanny instinct, he rushed into the tile bathroom so as not to injure the carpet. Fortunately, he recovered quickly from his attack, and in 2 days seemed as well as ever. Dogs are unerring in reflecting the characters of their masters and mistress. To Junior, I represented the play spirit, the wrong and flapdoodle. Well, he was somewhat of a roughneck in his relations with me. But with his mistress, he was always gentle and careful. One of the important lessons Junior taught me was to have more faith in my fellow beings. I had for years knocked about as a newspaper reporter and had acquired that veneer of cynicism that is typical of the craft. That rather smart-alecky attitude of having to be shown. Now, I am the average human being, as likely to err as the rest. But I found that with Junior, because of his implicit faith in me, I never attempted trickery. I could not bear to abuse that rare confidence. And this set me to thinking that if we humans displayed the same faith in our fellows, we should be less likely to have that confidence abused. I come to the final chapter of Junior's life with tears that are shed unashamed. As I've said, he was my constant companion for 8 happy years. My longest absence from him was when I was in Europe, where the quarantine regulations are so strict that it is quite unfair and selfish to take the dog there. Junior, like all good dogs, was faithful to the end. He died obeying my command.
which made his loss all the more tragic to me. I left him after his evening romp and was away until shortly after midnight. Upon my return, his greeting was, it seemed to me, especially joyous. It was so joyous, in fact, that it indirectly led to his death. Shortly before I arrived, a servant had taken him out for a walk. But he was so glad to see me, and he loved so to go out late at night without a muzzle or a leash on, that I humored him, and we went out again together. At that hour, there was very little traffic on Fifth Avenue, and Junior ran far ahead of me. He'd been trained to wait at curbings when unleashed until he received the command, go. Then he would race across the street like a flash. At the corner of 44th Street and Fifth Avenue, I stepped to the curb, looked both ways for signs of traffic, and seeing none, shouted, go. Junior was off at a bound. At that instant, a party of reckless joyriders in a heavy touring car swung madly around the corner, and both wheels on one side passed over his body. There was a jeer of derision as the car shot north with the tail lights gleaming red in the night. Junior staggered to his feet, and as I lifted him in my arms, he looked up with his soft, pleading eyes, begging for the help I could not give. Hailing a taxicab, I hurried to my hotel a few blocks away. But before I reached there, he had died without even a whimper of pain. He lies buried today in the picturesque little dog cemetery on the sloping hills of Hartsdale, New York. Above him are the green grass, the whispering trees, and a stone carved with this inscription, Junior, faithful to the end. He's a great columnist, old McIntyre.
Yes.
Now then, we'll all just wait.
For what?
The man who poisoned Queenie.
You're expecting him, are you?
You'll be by. This is going to be something different for you two.
How's that?
You won't have to look for the man who kills him.
Friday, see you a minute? Yeah, Lloyd. What do you got?
We checked the old man through R&I.
You find anything we can use?
No record.
How about the neighborhood?
Well, Perkins and Henry checked, talked to the people on the street.
Well?
The news we can find out he's pretty near a hermit. Doesn't have much to do with anybody.
No close friend?
No, none that anybody knows about. He gets one piece of mail a month, evidently some kind of check.
Mm-hmm.
We talked to the manager at the grocery down the street. Collins does all his shopping there.
What do you have to say about that check?
It's from an insurance company, some kind of annuity.
Anything else?
No, rest of the book's empty.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where do we go from here?
Find some way to get that gun away from him.
Any ideas?
Well, if we could find the poisoner, it might give us a break.
If there is a poisoner?
No, Lloyd, I believe him. Anyway, it won't do any harm to shake the neighborhood. If we pick the guy up, maybe the old man will settle down.
It's a big job.
Yeah, well, that's a big gun. 12:07 p.m. We contacted the office and made arrangements for additional cars to start a thorough search of the area. It was just an outside chance that the dog poisoner might still be in the neighborhood somewhere. The crowd on the sidewalk had gotten larger, and the uniformed officers were having trouble keeping order. While I was talking to the office, a middle-aged woman broke through the lines and ran toward the porch and Peter Collins.
Pete! Pete Collins!
All right, hold it right there, lady.
He's a friend of mine.
Yeah, well, he won't be if he pulls the trigger on that gun.
What are you trying to do, Pete Collins?
What?
What are you doing to our street?
I don't know what you mean.
We were all sorry when Queenie died. Wasn't anybody on the street didn't want to do something.
That's nice of you.
You sit here with that gun trying to turn this street into a shooting gallery and none of us are with you.
You know why I'm doing it.
That don't make it right. We had a meeting last night. All the people in the neighborhood. Tried to think what to do about getting you another dog.
I don't want no other dog.
Grow up. Put that gun away and grow up.
You get out of here. Right now. You get out of here and tell your friends that I don't need them. None of them.
You go tell him that, will you?
All right, come on. I'll be over here.
Joe?
Yeah.
Just talked to the office. They're sending out more men, gas guns.
Anything on the poisoner?
No, still looking.
Lady, what do you know about him?
Oh, he lived next door for 16 years.
You live alone all that time?
Yeah. I think he was married before he moved here.
Yeah.
All he had was that old dog. Just the two of them.
You have any idea who might have poisoned the dog?
We'd all like the answer to that one.
Ma'am?
Queenie's not the first one. Them 13 others. Hardly a dog on the block that hasn't gotten sick. We've done about everything we could. It isn't easy.
What do you mean?
The way the law is.
What?
We checked into it.
You did, huh?
The way the law reads, in order to prove poisoning, you've got to see the person throw the bait.
Yeah.
There's none of us got time to sit around the back fence and watch people walking down the alley.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you do see the person throw the bait, you can't just go in and arrest them.
All right.
The law says you've got to have part of the bait. And that's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it almost impossible.
You been to the authorities, have you?
Yeah. SPCA, police. They've all done what they could. The dogs keep right on dying. We've even thought of maybe hiring somebody on our own. You know, sort of a special cop.
Yeah.
It seems a shame, don't it?
Ma'am?
Poor old man. How could anybody get low enough to poison his dog?
That's what he wants to know.
Joe.
Yeah. You better leave, lady.
Oh, yeah. I guess there's nothing more I can do for you.
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, this man here, his name's Bentley Mocker.
Yeah.
Uniformed men picked him up in an alley a couple of blocks from here, throwing this over the back fences.
Meat, huh?
Yeah.
That him? That's the man? That's the man who poisoned Queen?
All right, put that gun down, Collins.
I'm going to kill him.
How about it, Joe? Collins, put it down.
Oh, stand clear.
Better get these people out of here.
Right. What are we going to do?
No choice now.
Yeah.
We got to shoot them. 12:24 p.m. In spite of the precautions, it began to look as if we wouldn't be able to take Collins' gun away from him without physical violence. As he raised the shotgun, cocked it, and pointed it at Bentley Marker, all of the other officers in the vicinity were ready to stop him. Collins, you use that gun and I'm going to use mine. Put it down.
I'll shoot through you to get to it.
Yes, sir, you're going to have to.
What's going on here? You got no right to do this to me?
How about it? Did you poison his dog?
He's crazy. He'll kill me if he gets a chance.
Just answer me. Did you poison his dog?
What if I did?
Answer the question, mister.
All right, I did. I poisoned him.
You've been dropping poisoned meat all over this neighborhood, haven't you?
There ain't anything you can do about it.
14 dogs killed around here. Did you do it?
Pets, that's how they are. Good riddance.
That's the way it looks to you, does it?
Sure, rooting around the yard, barking and yowling. No good, any of them.
You all through?
I could go on for hours about them. Had my way, I'd get rid of them all.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Those dogs meant a lot to the people who lost them. That old man sitting up there on the porch, to him, that dog was part of his life. What gives you the right to sneak around back alleys and side yards and kill off a pet that belongs to a child or an old man?
I don't have to stand around here and listen to you.
No, sir, you don't. Lloyd?
Yeah, Joe.
Take him downtown.
What for? You got no law to hold me?
Yeah, well, maybe we can find one.
In the way you talk, you think dogs are better than humans.
In your case, they are.
Come on, let's go.
Frank.
Yeah.
Tell him to stand by with the gas.
Yeah. No other way, huh?
Now I'll make one more try.
Right. I'll bring up the heavy stuff.
All right, Collins, it's all over now. I'm going to tell you once more. Put that gun down.
I'd like to get one chance at that poisoner.
He's gone. He's downtown. Now, this is the last time. Put it down.
I don't care anymore.
It's up to you. We've done all we can.
That man ought to die.
Put the gun down.
I don't care anymore. I'd just as soon shoot you.
Collins, it's all over. Now put that gun down and we'll take it away from you.
Joe. Joe.
Yeah.
Take a look.
What's the kid want here?
Well, look. Note pinned to his coat.
Policeman, maybe this will help. When will I read it? Did you read this?
Yeah.
Well, we'll give it a try. Collins, the boy here wants to see you.
I don't want to talk to anybody.
You might want to see him.
Who is it?
What's your name, son?
Davy!
Davy.
Oh, I know him. It's okay. Let him come up.
Not as long as you got that gun. Now, how about it?
All right.
Break it. Take the shells out. Now toss them down there on the lawn. Now let that gun slide down the porch steps. Come on. All right, son. Come ahead.
Davy? What'd you want to see me about?
Ma said I should give you this note.
What's in it?
Well, now, the quickest way to find that out is to read it, isn't it?
Huh. My dear Mr. Collins, as you well know, all of your neighbors are dreadfully sorry you lost your queenie. I know this one may never take her place, but please give her the chance. Oh, yes, it's a little girl. Your neighbor, Mrs. Tom Evans.
You want to see the puppy?
Well...
Come on, son, let's unzip your jacket here.
Here.
Okay. There you are.
It's a little girl. Just a puppy.
That's right.
Yeah. Queenie's collar doesn't fit too good.
Mm-hmm.
Think I'll have to get another one.
No, I wouldn't worry about that.
Huh?
She'll grow into that one.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On July 12th, trial was held in Division 68, Municipal Court, Los Angeles Judicial District. Peter Lawrence Collins pled guilty to violation of Section 417 PC, drawing or exhibiting firearms, 1 count. Extenuating circumstances and lack of a prior record led the court to be lenient. The suspect was placed on probation for a period of 3 years. Bentley Jones Mocker was tried and convicted of Section 596 PC, unauthorized animal poisoning, and received sentence as prescribed by law. Violation of Section 596 PC is punishable by imprisonment in the county jail for a period not to exceed 6 months, or a fine of not more than $500, or both such fine and imprisonment.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are grateful to the McNaught Syndicate Incorporated for granting permission to read excerpts from O.O. McIntyre's article entitled, What My Dog Taught Me.
You have just heard Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action, and starring Jack Webb, a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.